Good morning, everyone. I'm Tassinix, and yeah, I was getting a phone call just as the screen was loading, so I was like, okay, let's decline that. But anyways, welcome to Coffee and Chill. It is a easy morning over here at the Tassinix household. I am on vacation. I had to use up a bunch of vacation leave at work, so I am big chilling at home. Wife's at work, kids at school. Everything's done around here. So yeah, I'm gonna take care of a couple TW things off screen real quick, and then I'll pull, swug it up, swug it back on over. But might play some other games, whatever in the background. But what I'm really here to do is take on your, the burning GAC and mod related questions that exist within your heart. So yeah, Tim, good morning. Would you show how to do the challenge tier 3 of the Night Sister challenge? I may have already simmed it. I don't know. Let me check. Need to interrupt your coffee and Frankto says, I need to interrupt your coffee and chill and demand that you take gas and another clone. Take gas and another clone into the GC. I demand to know who wanted that. Ah. Wouldn't want me seeing that TW map, right? Yes, Quig. I mean, I mean, it isn't, obviously, never, not in a million years would I personally think anything askance about you. I'm just not showing that to anybody for, what I think we both agree are pretty standard, obvious reasons. But yeah, let me get some more music on here in the background. We'll go back here. We'll go back here and start the tracks early. Yeah, that's that diner driving and dive shit. That's what that sounds like to me. All right. Yeah. All right. Intense TWIC. No comment. No comment. As far as TW goes, I just work here, man. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And let me fix this real quick. I have to mute all sound for the moment. There we go. So yeah, how's everybody doing? What's on your minds? We'll take a look at that Galactic Challenge, though. As soon as I'm done with this, I promise, I'll knock out that TW stuff here real quick. So let's start the questions, folks. Don't I'll participate here. Don't worry about me. Go and manually do Secrets and Shadows Challenge Tier 3. That should cheer you up. I'll tell you what. The first time I did clear it, the relief, knowing I would never have to do it again. Never have to. That's what's important. How about modding for Great Mothers and her band of merry undead night sisters? Fair. Very fair. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's been a little bit since I made them, but I did make a mod guide series on YouTube. I will, of course, discuss it, but I will also drop the link to the Great Mothers video, which would get you started on the series for the faction. That's the one. Where's the link? Give me a link. There we go. Boom. Copy and paste. All right. You know what? I'll take care of that other stuff later. All right, let's go ahead. We'll take a look at Great Mothers. That feels like that's a little loud. I don't know why. Something right about there feels about right. Okay, Night Sisters wise for the Great Mothers team. So the short answer is speed and health. Damage is nice if you can tuck some offense in, because as it turns out, she kind of slaps, especially with Magic Storm. Her basics also do more than I think I would expect they would. But yeah, I wouldn't put a particular emphasis on offense. Speed is important, health is important, but all this can change, of course. We're here at the end of the Great Mothers Datacron, right? Man, they bugged up a whole bunch of stuff. You see how this doesn't fit on the screen? And hold on, wait. There. God, I'm so dumb. So dumb sometimes. All right, never mind. Anyway, there are some bugs, but that was not one of them. That was just me having the thing maximized like a dingus. All right, 345 speed. I've had her up over 350, but I've had some demand. At Relic 9, 100,000 health with an emphasis on like health primaries is not impossible. If you had some crazy fast health primary, of course, for the arrow, that would be better. Because you could be about, in absolutely screaming mods, something about 345, closer up toward 350, without the speed arrow. You could do it. The health is really nice to get to. And what I was mentioning about, that Kron expiring is that we don't really know what you're going to take this team on with until it's gone. So we don't know what we'll have to be modding against. Could be tenacity in the future. You never know, but that's kind of how all these things are for the moment. I don't really think there's a lot. Well, how much tenacity does she have as a base? It would be a fairly easy matter to push her tenacity up. So if we needed to, wouldn't be bad. Let me check the chat. Bum. Okay, I don't want to take too long in answering this, but the other quick answers are, I like offense and either health or potency 2-piece for Night Trooper. Honestly, if this guy were significantly faster, like in the 350s, I'd be able to stop people's slacker crons, or high 340s, I think. I think Dagger told me yesterday it was something like a 348 or higher Night Trooper with this current Great Mother's Cron is enough to outrun any slacker's second turn in the game. Damn. I think this is comfortable for him to stay at, though, because this is a very fast offense and, in this case, potency set. Crit damage triangle. Try and have some potency added. He has, I want to say, 35%? Yeah, it's 35% from his unique. But it's not difficult to add a little potency into the guy, and having him close to 100 base potency means you're rocking about 125%, irrespective of whatever cron you're running. Stack offense, and then here's the thing. I used to put an emphasis on stacking a little bit of crit chance, maybe up to 80%, so adding 20% on. But if you're running him under DTMG lead, DTMG's adding like 75% crit chance. And if you're running him alongside Night Trooper, he's also giving 35% crit chance. So honestly, you're probably better off worrying about stacking a ton of offense. You could probably, at Relic 8, say, be about 11k, 11.1k in really, really good mods, but that's kind of where to push for. Yeah, Doctor, let's see. I gotta acknowledge some of the chatters here. Okay. All right, we got some stuff. Faust says, what do you think is the best split of Dead Bros between DTMG and Great Mother's team? That's appropriate for me to answer while we're going through this. Well, this is the last week of the Night Sisters Cron. And if you're in a part of the game where you're having the Great Mother's team and the Cron, then I would say that it is best. It's best. The best version of the team for Great Mothers does have both Night Trooper and DTP on it. The question is, if you scout your opponent, how much does that matter? How much have they been fighting that and still getting 64 banners with their slacker counter, or taking a 62, 61 with JMK most of the time? How successful are they? Do you see a pinch point by actually committing both of them to Great Mothers? Or you could split them off and have a very serviceable offense team. You could take out easily any Jabba right now. With both of them, well, even just Night Trooper, I would say at the very excuse me, for this last week of Grand Arena, leave DTP with Great Mothers. And then you could take Night Trooper and put it with your DTMG and have an overwhelmingly powerful counter to any Jabba right now. I would say that's pretty fair. Okay, Hey, Frick Frack, good morning. Man, we tore it up last night a bit. We played some games on Helldivers. That was fun. Hey, Sinister Lath. Hey, MJ. What's going on? Morning fucker. What's cooking? Good looking. That's right. That's me. That's me. All right. Slooty Sloot, my man, I'm sorry, I just missed that. I heard the chime, but I was distracted thinking about mods. And thank you so much for your sub here. Sub now for 2 months. Thank you kindly. Now you can see what remains of my hair. But yes. All right. Chuck Sachs, hey Chuck, what's going on? What are you thinking about taking on Ahsoka on defense? Yeah, we'll get to that. Let me wrap up this stuff here about these great mothers, because we had folks asking. So Death Trooper Peridia also has this attribute from his unique. Night Sister allies gain 35% max health and max protection. That's why I say, at the very most, take away Night Trooper from Great Mothers. Don't take DTP away. This is so much survivability for the team. This makes him pretty much the first priority to kill, because most people would prefer to go after the Night Trooper after hopefully they quickly take out Great Mothers, right? Something like that. But, if you still haven't taken down Great Mothers, if you're not going with something that smites, this makes her that much harder to kill. And if you saw I think it was just last 3 versus 3 season, I took my Relic 9, all 3 Relic 9, CLS Han Chewie, high armor penetration, light side Kron, versus a Great Mothers team that had, I want to say, a 5-star Great Mothers lead? No Kron, obviously. And we did not get through her protection, I want to say. Or if we did, it just immediately restored a big chunk as soon as the, double tap went out. And it was just spellbinding, the amount of survivability in that team. So don't underestimate how good this is with that. That's why it's like, you might like to put it with DTMG. DTMG doesn't need this kind of help. Any of the Night Sisters you would run under DTMG don't need this kind of help. All right, so yeah, mod-wise, it depends on where you're at. If you're going to use this character in TW, I do strongly advocate for the crit damage set because, where is it? Yeah, it's here. So he's able to siphon, and you know how certain characters like Slacker siphons Mastery, Aphra siphons Potency, I want to say. Yeah, he siphons critical damage in TW. So I kind of like leaning into that with a crit damage set. I would also say that there's a very intelligent argument to be made for running an offense set. It's fine. Just make sure you have a crit damage triangle. I strongly prefer for both DTP and Knight, in particular Night Trooper, because he has that GAC Omicron giving him 100% added health. I really like having the health primary on the cross with a lot of added offense. It takes time to cultivate mods like that, but it is absolutely worth it because there's no substitute. The survivability gains are insane. Now this could be a protection one as well. It's just this character is going to be life stealing, 30% health steal. There's no protection steal. So I just feel better about leaning into health. There's also health gains, I want to say, from Great Mother's lead. I think at least one other place. Something like that. There is a lot of health in this team. And yeah, you could go with... I went with health because there's still more synergy there. You could go with whatever you're comfortable with. Being that he's a high priority target, wouldn't be crazy if this was like a 2-piece of defense that had some crazy offense on it. It'd be weird for most people to have it, but you'd be surprised what you had. Okay. All right. Yeah, man, I just keep getting lost in a tunnel because I love these. The short answer is for Morgan Elsbeth, I feel like Tenacity is going to have enduring value after this. I don't have a Tenacity cross on right now. And I don't have my very finest Tenacity mods on her right now because my Great Mother's Datacron has something like 93% Tenacity on it. So right now, mine is more dangerous being in a protection primary cross. But that will be changing back. After that, as much armor and health offense as you can stand to add, something like that. Everybody gets one life to live. Making her a pain in the ass to deal with is nice. Any combination of survivability stats will do, because essentially what your opponents are trying to do is get around her. Get rid of her taunt, be able to ignore her, try and chop down the sides. Because the hardest way of doing the fight would be to kill Morgan first, because she's going to buff all of her allies when she dies. You don't want that. So, as far as speed goes, she is pretty slow right now, I would say, relatively. I don't think it matters with the Kron. I think I might push to make her very fast again. Now, when I say very fast, I mean like 340, 350, as close as I can get up to 360 as possible. Because then there's the couple of speed gains in the team. She'd be flying. It would be extremely difficult to keep her out of taunt, I think. Okay. I think that's everybody. Yeah, and, you know, Spirit, nothing really too crazy. I went with crit damage. You could go with offense. Try and be as fast as you can. Crit damage triangle. Added potency is a plus. Up to about 100%, I'd say. Because remember, you do have the opportunity to stun on the special, and you can remove turn meter and inflict speed down on basic. You do need to pass a potency tenacity check to remove that turn meter. So, yeah. I do like crit damage. See that crit damage triangles, you know, crit chance you can get from a 2-piece of just about anything with good secondaries, but I went with a 2-piece of crit chance because it made it easy to be just over 100%, so I feel good about that. Now, because I could use this character any which way. I'm not dependent on the crit chance from DTP, for example. So that was the idea. Okay, I think that about wraps that up. Let's see here. All right, yeah, so let's talk. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Oh, you like the mod videos with Dagger, Sinister Laugh. Nice. My question is, when would you say is good time to pivot from scanning wide to focusing on mods for a particular character? When you don't feel like you're running like a bum on counters. Like, you feel it, right? You feel it when it's like, oh, I looked this up, and I see that this counter should work, and then I ran it, and it either failed, and maybe it failed by a little, because the counter was, you know, mechanically sound, but you just didn't have the oomph. You didn't have what you needed. Maybe you didn't have the relics. Maybe you've already tried applying some relics, and you're not really seeing the result. You feel the pull of, like, man, I look at the data and I should have it, but I don't have it. So what am I missing here? And most of the time, that's going to be, you know, top-notch mods. You have to inspect the people on an individual match to see, for sure. But scanning wide, the idea is you need to have something equipped on everybody. And it can't be just literally anything, right? It needs to be what I would call, quote-unquote, serviceable. So making sure that you've got serviceable mods on everybody that you're going to use. Let's say the top 80 characters in your roster. You know, that's more important than having the right mods on anyone in particular, I would say. I mean, you could say with the exception of your GLs, stuff like that. Anything you've committed a GAC Omicron to is worth good investment as well. All right, so yeah, let me go back on to the Ahsoka question from Chuck Sachs. So what am I thinking about taking on Ahsoka on defense? So yeah, if I'm encountering it, I'm thinking about running just Leia. I mean, Leia's been amazing for me on defense, mostly as a fork. People really haven't been dropping on mine. It's just, it took what I needed it to take, and I can do something else to cause that kind of pain. But I've seen her with Krex, I want to say. Krex is part of that recipe. Drogon, Old Ben, and I want to say I've seen Mon Mothma, but I want to say maybe the 5th you have some flexibility on. I'm not 100%, but I'm willing to hazard it. Absent that, I don't know. I have no idea. Open to your suggestions, though, because I have a freebie for this round. I have an Erodium, but the next 2 rounds are going to be real people, and they're going to be good fights. So, we'll see. Yeah, Tim, you asked, what lineup with the Great Mothers do you suggest running? Great Mother, Morgan, DTP, and the other 2? Spirit, and you could either go with Acolyte or Initiate. Initiate is less likely to pull Blessed, but odds are that means Spirit's going to be blessed. And honestly, that's okay. I'd rather have Spirit be blessed than Acolyte. Spirit's a much nastier character. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. MJ saying DV lead Starkiller destroys her. Or Rolo-led Leia, or normal Leia. Yeah, exactly. I was hearing good things about normal Leia, but yeah. Okay, am I catching up on stuff? How do you feel about Tano's release? From my view, I see buyer's remorse with a sprinkle of love. You guys will see Plotting and Scheming's coming out on Friday, but we talked about it. The idea that for what it costs to get her, and for as cool as this new Spectre faction was gearing up to be, pretty disappointing. Pretty lackluster to see how she can be manhandled. But what's really disappointing is the dum-dum ult. That's the thing that bothers me. So with the proper composition, she has 2 stages of ultimate. Her first stage of ultimate pops off almost immediately. All right, she's going to be granted like 35% ult charge from one source and then another, and then just gain the other, third real quick, third or less. And she'll pop that first one, at which point she will increase the cooldowns of every enemy to max, which can't be resisted. Completely dope. Here's the problem. You now go into having this second stage of ultimate, which if you get up to 100% charge, you are able to stack a bunch of mastery, and then, from at least the second stage on up, you will get Deflective Ward. But Deflective Ward is easily removed. It's kind of annoying in that respect, so it's disappointing. But the thing that bothers me the most is that she has a dumb AI, just like Slacker, in which she will take the first turn she can take where she has any stage of this ultimate fulfilled, she will take the ultimate. She will pop it at this first stage at 50% charge, any and every chance she gets. Now, when you're putting Slacker on defense, you're usually setting it up, of course, with Red Trooper, oftentimes with Hux and First Order Officer, just so that you set up an opportunity for Slacker to take enough consecutive turns and have enough assists and have enough AoE damage popping off, such that he can actually get up to 3 charges, up to his full ultimate, before he gets a proper turn to be dumb and pop it early, okay? So you can set it up for him and get him a full charge. I don't know that you can yet for her. There's been some pretty vigorous testing going on, most of which I have been watching. I've done a little bit on my own, but I personally haven't found a way, and I haven't heard about anybody finding a reliable way on defense, to force her to work up to full charge before popping off. Yeah, all right, I caught some of your comments there, MJ. Yeah, we got you. All right, Sinister, you got to run to a work meeting. We'll pop back in if still live. No worries, man. Yeah. Take care. All right, I think we're caught up with the chat. Queen Amidala with Plo also had handled Tano, but that was with Plo. So yeah, that's an outgoing counter because this is the last week. I think it's plausible post-Plo, says MJ. What makes you say that, then? And how much of that analysis depends on them not having any of the new Datacrons from set 19? Barris plus the decoy really veer the fight away while Pow goes to town. Okay, fair. Okay, yeah. I gotta tell you, looking at it, I'm gonna be making that video with Aesop Rock soon, very soon. Hopefully today, but I know he said he's not been feeling well, and I'm not looking to push the guy. So we'll see, but I'm gonna get that done. And one of the things we're gonna talk about is that at least early on, we talked about this in plotting and scheming as well, is that the Ahsoka level 9 actually hurts the team, and we'll discuss. You'll see us discuss it in full detail on the episode. But the idea is that the Ahsoka level 9 is actually a red herring. You don't want it. I think the standout for Ahsoka on defense is going to be the Fulcrum Cron. Yeah, MJ. Yeah, it is the unique, exactly. Yeah, the Fulcrum is, yes, it is brain dead, MJ. It is. It's something. It's real, it's something, it's really something. Alright. Gladiator asks, how would you rank Ezra's Omicrons now that we have Ahsoka's kit? Great question. Let me look at him again. Okay. Man, this is what... See, this makes you want to put Relic 9. Makes me want to put Relic 9 on every Spectre. So that means I still need to do it to General Syndulla and to Huyang. But this is really good. This is really good. This is easily the least important now. I think in my video from last month, I ranked this number 1 with the Exile Unique as number 2. I want to say my gut right now is Exile is number 1, followed by Kanan's Legacy, followed by Daring Advance. Like, easily, these benefits from the passive benefits from Exile, and then setting him up, I think he's getting fed 25 stacks of Purgle Migration by Ahsoka off rip. So that's it. Boom. He's free. He's immediately, like, just about free of Exile. Off rip. So, yeah. It's probably good. And then Daring Advance after that. It is a lot of mastery gain. Yeah, you don't... We'll have to see how much it really matters here in Grand Arena. I'm looking forward to it, though. I am. Yeah, after talking with Fatal, so I was rocking the crit damage triangle, and after talking with Fatal, he really enjoyed his results from having a health primary on triangle, all through this meta with having Exile Ezra with Rey. I've enjoyed having the crit damage triangle, but I haven't had so many holds, so this is a change here for me in week 3. Obviously, I have Ahsoka, so probably running him with. But can I just say how much I appreciate this for 3 versus 3? And by the way, round of applause for 3 versus 3. So many folks have come around on 3 versus 3 because we have too many teams, way too many teams to use all of them, all of the the well set up teams you may have in 5 versus 5. 3 versus 3 is where creativity lives. There is still a lot more fun, I think, in 3 versus 3. There's just more battles, but I've always I like both just fine. But for years, people have been hating on 3 versus 3, and I think in a lot of folks' eyes, it has been redeemed, and rightfully so. Okay, so that said, what was it that I wanted to highlight that I really liked in her kit? What was it? something. Damn, I distracted myself and forgot. Oh well, I'll remember. Tuscans forever. What about Tuscans, MJ? Keep the questions coming, folks. The coffee is hot, but the questions have run cold. Just I was talking about through Tuscan shine at through. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah. If right here in her lead, if there is not an ally, Ezra Bridger Exile, Spectre allies gain 100% max health and max protection. So you can still run Rey, Ezra, and Swolo in 3 versus 3 and have her just slap. Still be a serious threat in 3 versus 3 without him. So, you know, Hu Yang and, in this case, probably Fulcrum with the set 19 Datacron. But if we didn't have set 19 making this Fulcrum level 9 kind of straight up ridiculous, then probably Padawan Sabine. But my point here is that you could still run with Ezra if you wanted to concentrate it all. But this specific carve-out feels very 3 versus 3, although it works everywhere. This is part of her stock, leadership. This is not mode specific. So, pretty nice. Exactly. Slooty Storm says that effect plus a Bulkron, which we do have on the upcoming set, Light Side Bulk. It's going to be disgusting. Completely agree. She's going to be huge. And this is what she's looking like for me at Relic 9 right now. Just over 200,000 health, just over 100,000 prot, 570 speed, and then I put as much armor as I could into these mods otherwise, just over 81%. That isn't super duper impressive for being defensively oriented, but that's why I'm going on a great journey, a great exodus into the Forsaken Lands of defense mod farming. Mods that will be specialized for mostly this team, but it's clear to me that this team really would benefit from a good bit of it. So, we'll see. We will see. Sir Traximus subscribed for 4 months here. Thank you, man. Appreciate you so much. Sir Traximus says, nothing like watching a morning task stream after doing a work presentation to half my company. Merry Christmas! Man, appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you. But, man, good. Come on in. Blow some steam off. Got some questions? Got anything on your mind? Ideally, we're talking about Grand Arena and, mods and stuff like that. But I'm fielding questions of a general type. We can do it. If you ask me about sports, I'm not going to be a lot of help. All right, well, while you guys are thinking about whatever else you want to talk about, I can at least show you an early thought on what I'm thinking Datacron-wise. So this is the red herring, all right? At the start of battle, all Spectre allies gain More Eyes Wisdom for 2 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. All right, that's the part that's bad. Whenever a Spectre ally with More Eyes Wisdom uses special ability, Ahsoka Tano gains 3% ultimate charge. That part is good. But why is this first part bad? So let's take a look. Daughter of Mortis. Spectre, something else. Am I missing it? I thought it was in the unique. Ahsoka games. Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't be it. This is it. Yeah, it's alright. It's from her special Defiant Resolve. Target other ally gains 25% turn meter, and if they are Spectre, they also gain Morai's Wisdom if they didn't already have it until the end of battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Alright, if they didn't already have it. And then they get to keep it forever, I think. Yeah, it doesn't fall off. But from the Datacron, this Morai's Wisdom that is granted only lasts 2 turns. So on defense, when Ahsoka goes to use this ability, and it's going to see that, oh, you already have Morai's Wisdom, then I'm not going to give you Morai's Wisdom. Which means that for the purpose of the fight, this is on a 4-round cooldown. That means that this character has missed its opportunity to get Morai's Wisdom permanently for the duration of the fight. So that's lame. That's why I don't do this one. Fulcrum's is ridiculous. I will show that real quick. Why did I just run back to this? Alright, there we go. Whenever an enemy takes a turn, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum takes a bonus turn. So it's like the Dengar Kron thing. During this bonus turn, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum deals 100% more damage. This bonus turn can't trigger this effect on enemies. Okay, so she destroys people with this. This is going to be obscene. Alright? I would recommend this experience. So Traximus asks, I just unlocked GL Ahsoka 2. How is she faring offensively? Who is she strong against? I didn't get to test enough yet. On defense, I don't know what withstands her. It depends on how you're modding them. I noticed that, Fatal really advocated for a lot of defense being baked into most of the characters. I think he's manipulating the mods on a couple of them to go away from defense. I think he's reconsidering about General Syndulla and Huyang. But otherwise, stacking high defense with, offense on the offense on the mods for, in defense sets on your attackers, really profitable under Ahsoka's lead. But I've not found anything that can withstand her on offense. We all agreed on plotting and scheming this week that it feels like she's meant to be in the hands of the attacker. Fatal was saying that it's kind of what CG said about Leia when she was released, and then, surprise, we've found that she can actually be very viable on defense. But given what I've discussed here about how her second stage ultimate gets cut off by the dumb leadership AI, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like you can just use this to clobber anything. So, almost certainly mirror matches. I don't know how the speed checks would line up for that to matter. I guess you would want, Exile Ezra is probably the fastest. Yeah. Exile Ezra is probably the fastest on your team after Ahsoka. So if yours, Ezra, was faster than their Ezra, that's probably the key to victory, because you get to pass Unite to Padawan Sabine or Fulcrum. That's who I think you'd end up dropping, by the way, if you're taking Fulcrum in 5 vs 5. I think you're dropping Padawan Sabine. She's really good. I really like her in the team. She does incredible things. No arguments, nothing against her. It's just this Fulcrum effect is going to be ridiculous any which way. Dagger is saying gas beats Tano. It can. I don't know, it's not super reliable. So if you want to go very heavy on defense and you're willing to 2, possibly 3 shot her, at worst, I think, gas If Gas is successful, I think Dagger was saying it's like a 61. You don't lose anybody, maybe 4 banners. And if it fails, then it just straight up fails. A lot of my matches are decided by 20 banners or less. I fight a lot of people that are very clean on attack. So it lessens the amount of risk that I get to take. Yeah. Frick Frack, does it beat Tano Fulcrum? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. But Dagger is not as lucky as yours truly, and is in fact working, which is a hilarious problem to have here. So, ha ha ha, Dagger. Ha ha. It's good. Okay, you got speed and defense mods, Sir Traxmas, and you were debating with Danos into doing health and speed. Since your health is naturally so high. But as you said, I guess it depends on the situation. I think, like, if you're talking about defense primaries, additional defense primaries, I think that's too much. Her damage isn't super significant, and her biggest benefit is outside of her specials, having good impact on the team. My favorite thing about her kit is that she has 100% counter chance, starts with taunt for 2 turns, and also has Dispel with stacking bonus protection on her basic. Okay? Let alone whether or not you have perfect defense. Alright? It also heals your weakest ally, but the idea, if you played through the event, the idea that, her with her taunt up, a whole bunch of things hitting her, everybody's just getting dispelled. That is super cool. I like that effect. Chuck Sachs. Obligatory. Dagger says lots of stuff. Troll added here. Yes, very good. Very good. Dagger does say a lot of stuff. Some of it's even accurate. So yeah, guys, what's on your mind? Mod questions, Grand Arena questions. What else? MJ. You're fine. I wonder if this would let me do this. Would you let me drag this out here? Oh, nice. Oh, the future is now. Or I'm just a dodo and don't really think about it. But let's see if I can't get this to look reasonable on screen. Don't you make me look bad now. You make me regret putting this on screen. But there you go. Alright. Now I can just look at this. Okay. Fatal doesn't really see Gas being a confident counter. I agree. I think it's something for a Sweat Lord to do. If you're going to go super heavy on defense and you're committed to the path of hacking and slashing your way through her over a couple 3 attempts, okay. Okay, we can do that. Yeah, this isn't the proper way to add the chat in. I literally dragged it out of OBS into here, but you know what? I won't tell the Professional Streamers Association of America, if you won't, something like that. That's so funny. That's Salute. I'm a little sad my opponent doesn't have GAT yet. Would have been fun to test against. Yeah. That's fair. I don't know, I feel like she can be easily cut off. The benefits for her popping off her full ultimate would be crazy if it could happen reliably, but it ain't gonna be doing that, so yeah. Yeah, so somebody asked earlier, overall, just what's my feeling on her? I'm a little disappointed. She's really powerful on offense, so I guess we have another super strong offense team, which is neat. We'll see. Any interest in Marvel Rivals? Asks MJ. Not really. I've had a lot of people ask me about it. I know there's a lot of fans. I didn't really grow up with comic books. Like, most of my comic book exposure was the first of whatever superhero movies here. I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. Wasn't really into it, so like, all the superhero stuff's kind of not bad by any means. I can take it or leave it is my point. So having played Overwatch for years and already having a bunch of money tied up in skins and stuff on that, I don't need another thing that's like Overwatch to suck a bunch of money out of me. You know? Yeah, I hear it's a great game, though. Nothing against it. I just feel like Overwatch already occupies that spot in my life, and I feel like I've committed. I don't know. I might change my mind at a later point in time, but I don't really see why. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Rivals is eyeballing your wallet for skins. I'm sure, yeah. The clips I've seen and everything, the game looks beautiful. Speaking of games, though, have you seen Helldivers 2? With the Illuminate? Love to hear about that. Oh, let me see. I might have missed a question or two in here. Sir Traxmus, how's a day in the life of Task? We'll come back to that one. Alright. Depressed Wampa asked, so if I'm using GLAT only for offense, is speed defense the best way to mod her? I can't really say confidently that it's the best, right? I mean, it's too early to say, particularly in Grand Arena. You know, nobody knows yet how the full team is going to function, right? We all have our expectations based on what we've tested here in Squad Arena in the first few days. But intuitively, what is it? Oh, wow, she doesn't give any type of speed. So yeah, I was about to say, what is she? One of the ones that gives only 30 speed, so even so, she'd be about 600 speed, which sounds nice. Now I feel even better about giving her this speed, because in general, I like giving characters what they don't give themselves. You know? There's no substitute on speed for a character that doesn't otherwise stack it, or get turn meter, something like that. I mean, I think she will possibly be getting some turn meter. Well, and the speed for Morai's Wisdom. Yeah, and then I think the effect is doubled, right, for Spectre. So we are looking at 600 speed with Morai's Wisdom, right? Something like that. Where did it go? Oh, there's the chat. Oh, I see. Yeah, damn. That's so funny. The yeah. That cracks me up, man. Yeah, she is fast. I mean, I modeled it after a couple other people. Nothing invented here. But the idea is fast, health, and then as much armor as you can tack on. Don't worry about offense. It's really not her role. She is a tank, and she is properly a tank. Use her for her effects. She'll do what she can to keep taunt. And we'll see how it goes, you know? Somebody remind me, on defense, what is the special she prefers using first? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Super important point. Your Huyang is the only ally under Ahsoka that will use Reunite on his first turn. All of the other sides will prefer to use one of their own specials instead of Reunite, which ideally would be probably getting used on Ezra, or is it his might pop off so quickly? I don't know. The idea here, though, is that's extra dumb because you would prefer it not be Huyang that's using Reunite. That just further leans into the idea that this team is maybe better suited toward offense. I mean, I have to mod full health, life's a party. Oh yeah? Okay. Why do you have to mod full health? You just don't have the mods to do something similar at this point? Or they're already tied up? Yes, exactly, MJ. As far as the Illuminate on Helldivers, yeah, they did take their own stab at zombies. Yes. It's probably super loud. Let's blow this up and look at this real quick. Actually, let me put the sound up for that.
Without warning.
Come on. What is this cursed shit? Why aren't you letting me? What is this? What is this magic? Okay, thank you.
Laying waste to our peaceful colonies.
Let's have a look.
Crushing all resistance. They stole our citizens' homes and their minds. And something much, much worse. Their freedom. But when our citizens are attacked, our greatest heroes arrive to set them free.
It's the definitely not Warthog from Halo. Holy crap. I apologize. It's loud.
Together, we will save our people from this tortured existence.
So there's your zombies, exactly. It's so interesting that they released this. And Call of Duty Zombies has been very popular. I've been enjoying that, guys. I haven't bought a Call of Duty game in years, but I bought Black Ops 6 on the recommendation of a few friends just to play zombies, and I have literally played one mission of campaign, and it's only zombies.
Take back control.
Zombies is fun. Zombies is the only thing I've played since that first mission.
And deliver peace.
I'm already done with all of the progression system in terms of the research. And I'm like Prestige 5, just cranking it out there. This is the other game I've been just hitting up so much, though, is this new patch of Helldivers. It's been fun. All right, back to Swug of Stuff. Where were we? Yeah, man, you should update. It's fun. It is fun. I got you, Slooty. Yep, gotta follow orders. That's fair. Yeah, don't... yeah, the Quasar I'm not gonna be using against the Illuminate Traximus. It's too slow, man. I don't have the time for that. The problem with the walkers, the new walkers from the Illuminate, is they have a shield on them. And it's really cool because it reminds me a lot of like Protoss shielding from StarCraft. Like if you think about how an Immortal works. Immortals have a shield where it's about any amount of significant damage taken is reduced and then taken into the shield. And the shield is of a certain size. So it's designed to take heavy hits very well. If it's designed to soak up, if it reduces all damage to 10 and it has 100 health on the shield, or 100 shield points, it would take 10 heavy hits to clear it. Whereas if you carry some type of automatic SMG, like the automatic pistol, the sidearm, the fully automatic one, the one that's like a base weapon, it's really good at popping the shields on those walkers. But the shield comes back pretty quickly. So you need to be able to take down those walkers really quickly in that time. I'm thinking something like recoilless. I'm also experimenting with rail cannon because it says it's anti-tank. Might need to practice more with that. But those things have a charge-up laser, and they have two types of laser. They create a beam, and the beam starts following you and tracking you. If it touches you, you die. And then it also has charge up and zap, and then you just get exploded. Either way, when you see like it looks like that eye is charging up, you gotta get behind something legitimate. Level 10 difficulty, yeah, that's been a while, man, and it's fun. It's fun. Level 10 difficulty is wild on bots and bugs. I played Illuminate. Illuminate is the challenge feels kind of similar in the higher 3 or 4 difficulties. 10 does have more, but I don't know. The other thing is the reinforcements for those, man. The ships, the reinforcement ships, you have to shoot the portal that opens on the bottom of them when they start to beam down units. You don't have to wait for it to open, but you have to shoot in that spot to one-shot them. Otherwise, yeah, those things are really heavily armored. It is really fun, Depressed Wampa. Yeah, if you guys ever want to play, if you're on Steam, add me, Tassinix. Otherwise, DM me on Discord, and I'll get you added in-game if you're not a Steam player. But yeah, it is really fun. It is really fun. Me and Frick Frack were tearing it up last night. It was good. It was good. Illuminate are fun. Guys are taking it pretty easy on me. I'm not getting as peppered with Swugga related questions as I thought I would be. Maybe you're all being responsible employees and or parents, whatever it is you're doing in the background watching the show. How many folks we got on right now? Got 23 people at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. That's not bad. It's not bad. Which new cron am I most pumped about? That's a good question. I guess we could take a look. I mean, Fulcrum's really powerful. Let's take a look at something that isn't Ahsoka, yeah? I like this dark side turn meter. This is going to be dope. The resurgence, the glorious resurgence of Darth Revan as a top meta team on his own, like being able to outclass things with speed. Yes. General Veers, your Imperial troopers, this will be a high point for them. I'm liking that turn meter level 3. I mean, we'll get to the other stuff that I like, but this is my favorite thing so far in the level 3s. The rest of the other stuff's pretty regular. You got bulk on level 3 for light side. You do have this crit damage. This is kind of interesting. I think this might be a good thing with Rey in 5 vs 5. But only there. Okay, faction. Let's see here. Oh, does it supersede like that? Oh, that's lame. That's dumb. Okay, well, anyway, Grit is cool for the folks that liked having Iden on defense in the past. Grit makes life harder for Wampa. You still need that, ideally, a high amount of tenacity on both your range trooper and your shore trooper if you're going to be setting that on defense in 3 vs 3. All right, let's get the music back. Yes, Dark Side preload. Yes, that's right, MJ. Do I have another Gyat in my shard that I could run some tests against? I could, yeah. I'm sure I could. We'll take a look. I'll take a look here in a minute. I'm rocking my D9 Magma Trooper. Okay. Lord Vader Turn Meter Cron. No clue, but we'll see how it does. Dig that, Slooty. It's a good choice. I think that's going to be fun. I like that one. All right, Rebel-wise, this 10% offense stacking is going to be brutal. Yeah. This TMR is going to be insane with Mon Mothma. Nobody, anybody you're using Mon Mothma against on offense, they just don't get to do stuff. Provided you have the potency to remove the TMR. All right, Tuskens, yes. I want to say Blind is probably going to be the best one for the Tuskens. I like that one. The Ufus here are kind of underwhelming compared to set 18. So you will be ideally using Ufu bonuses from set 18 as long as we have that. But this 100% critical avoidance and the crit chance is pretty nice. The dispel, if you're debuffed, is okay. The turn meter gain for buffs, a lot of light side teams are rife with buffs. So, yeah, that can be pretty crazy. Alright, character-wise, this is possibly nuts. This is okay. This is pretty cool. I like this one. It's okay, though. I don't think it's better than Fulcrum. Range Trooper. It's okay. This one's okay. This one's poor. This one is dope. This one is dope. Tusken Chieftain is dope. Who is this? Tusken Raider? Screw this. Don't worry about this. When it gain crit damage up and 50% turn. You know what? This might actually be really good, though. Because this guy gaining 50% turn meter with crit damage up and crit chance up. Raider is a destroyer. So this might actually be good. But otherwise, this might be better than Tusken Chieftain. But Tusken Chieftain is going to be good. This TMR is going to be nice. Yeah, is dumb. CLS is crazy. I think I saw Fatal talking about it briefly, but then I had to jump off. Let me see about this. Whenever CLS damages an enemy with a special ability and the enemy doesn't have Armor Shred, inflict Armor Shred for the rest of battle. Whenever CLS uses a basic and damages an enemy with Armor Shred, inflict Expose for 2 turns on that enemy, which can't be resisted, and CLS gains prod up 50%, stacking for 2 turns. So you can stack that indefinitely. My guess is every time you're stacking it, you're renewing it for 2 turns. And the team already has a lot of Expose baked into it, so here we go. More Expose, more danger. Just, I'm ready for CLS to matter again. I think we'd all agree CLS has been kind of underwhelming the last few seasons. So there's that. This might be kind of sneaky, this blind with Snowtrooper. I'm not really sure how, but this is so poor for Tusken Warrior, I wouldn't bother with that one. This you want to think is good, but I just don't really know where you're using it. I feel like this one is safe to re-roll away for Lando. Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum is crazy. I don't care where you're going to use her. Use her with Ahsoka Tano, like I'm saying, and she's going to be nasty. Or don't. Use her with Seer. And have a great time regardless. There's no way to lose. Right, Tusken Shaman, that's Garboni Jabroni. Death Trooper's okay. Remove 25% turn meter. The AoE bomb is nice, I mean, because you can remove 25% turn meter from everybody. Need to have enough potency to pass the check. Cal Kestis, it's okay. He's already pretty bulky. I don't know that he needs so much more. Most of the counters that involve killing him don't involve bullying him down. I guess unless it's Leia. That could help. That could help. That could help resist Leia. Cholo is poop. Wouldn't recommend. Stormtrooper Han is also poor. Alright, so you said Magma Trooper. Who was that just said that? Yeah, that was Slooty Storm. So he's got the level 9 for Magma Trooper. Whenever Magma Trooper uses a basic ability, Magma Trooper gains product 50% stacking for 2 turns and 50% turn meter. Whenever Magma Trooper damages an enemy using a special ability, inflict fear for 1 turn on that enemy, which can't be evaded or resisted. Yeah. I'm into that. It is an AoE, right? So that sounds kind of smart. Sorry, no, where were we? Admiral Piet. This is interesting. I mean, we've all enjoyed Admiral Piet with Lord Vader in the past. This could be interesting. Very interesting. All right, we'll have to think about that. That's kind of cool for Piet. Can I just say also, love the stats on this set. Good amounts too, generous amounts I think. So it's going to be fun. Good offensive times. When you're bringing back bulk and you're not including defense in the stats, I think it makes for a much less miserable meta. You know? Alright, where are we at for comments? Depressed Wamp, I was looking at your Spectre mods and noticed defense sets on Hera and Huyang. I'd like to learn why people mod the way they do, so I was wondering your thought process. Sure, my thought process was talking to Fatal, and he was like, at that time, he was saying, yeah, I'm just going with full defense because, you know, obviously there's the defense to offense conversion under her leadership, but that was just his early thinking on that. Earlier, I was mentioning that I think he's coming to a different idea for how he wants to mod his Huyang and his General Syndulla. We can take a look real quick at his roster, see if he has that set in right now. Okay, so he still has her full prodded out, which is just beautiful, by the way. This is beautiful. Fast, huge. Okay. Okay, so he went back to crit damage. Still with the 2-piece. See this? And he doesn't particularly care whether it's protection or health. Survivability was key. The damage kind of takes care of itself, but I like this setup. This is cool. Okay, I respect that. I will take that under advisement. Thank you. I actually just freed up a crit damage set, so that's kind of cool. I might make that remod. So the idea behind the defense is the defense to offense conversion. And what I did notice is that my own instinct to keep these guys in just whatever regular modding you might otherwise put them in. When I was initially testing her the first couple attempts, I was losing people, but still winning the fight. Like 1, 2, 3 people, something like that. As soon as I moved everybody into these defense sets, wasn't losing anybody. And I was just curb stomping anything on offense. It was crazy. This was on full auto, by the way, me controlling nothing. So all the stuff, this is before I unlocked her ultimate. This was a no ultimate Ahsoka Tano, right? So yeah, the defense does seem worth it with her, and her leadership, you know, pays you out for that. We can go back and just look at that real quick. Yeah, 30% defense, mastery, and offense, right? So it's pretty good. What do you expect and hope for Darkseid Rey? Asked Frick Frag. I expect the world, and I hope for the best, because that character really excites me. First of all, can we just talk about what have they done to Rey? You noticed, I'm sure, that they updated some models this week. There are some absolute standout winners. We'll come back to this, but I want to show you real quick. For me, the absolute standout is Zaris. Zaris, look at this cloak. Look at this. This is stunning. All right. I don't know how accurate all the other details are, but I mean, honestly, really sharp looking. All right. All right. So we've said the good thing. Good thing first. Yeah. Okay. Let's start with her. What have they done to her? What have they done to her face? Why does she have like this bulldog lower jaw? Why is this such a big, wide lower jaw? That doesn't look like the Daisy Ridley I know. It looks like Daisy Ridley, you know, came out of a bar fight, and, you know, maybe the other guy looks worse, but she took her lumps. That's what she looks like to me, that somebody socked her in the mouth there, twice, on either side. Now, this one looks pretty much the same, I think. It kind of has this really wide-jawed thing going on. I'm not 100% on why they made that little adjustment. They made a whole bunch of little changes if you looked through all the characters the other day. But Rey Scavenger somehow feels like has the right shape of face, the closest actual shape of face to Daisy Ridley. And I hope that's how you say your name. I think so. Yeah, and yeah. this is the best looking model, so why did they have... It's kind of cool that if they had the thought to have 3 different models to express her change as a character, but why did you make her face worse going from the oldest model? Or from what is the, supposedly the oldest character here in Galaxy of Heroes? I don't get it. All right. Yeah. All right. So your question was, I took us all around the world, but let's go back to your question about Rey. So first of all, I don't know how jawed up she is. She looks like she might be a bit jawed up. We'll see. But this character really excites me. Being First Order and Sith is interesting, right? I can't recall off the top of my head. Okay, so she really does have quite a bit of please only use me with First Order in her kit. I'm trying to see if there's any reason why it would be awesome, awesome to have her with Sith. While Rey is debuffed, she has plus 50% speed. I'm preparing a wicked speed set for her. I have no idea if that's the right thing, but I'll be damned if I don't see if I can get some benefit out of leading into this ridiculous 50% speed thing. And yeah, we'll find out. You figure if she gets dazed or something, you can't gain any turn meter, right? So the only thing that brings you up to that next turn is straight up speed. That's pretty cool as a counter to being debuffed or denied turn meter gain. All right. All allies defeated. If Rey defeats an enemy, all allies defeated by that enemy are revived with 100% health. It makes me wonder. She does a lot of damage. Maybe I'm thinking about it the wrong way with speed. I mean, is this an offense or crit damage situation? We have such high crit chance and crit damage. I think a crit damage set might make a lot of sense. This fatal killing here, right? This fatal killing from her is amazing. Like no return. If Rey defeats an enemy, all allies defeated by that enemy are revived with 100% health. We really would want her to be able to have the best chance about dealing a killing blow every time she's doing an attack. So, fair enough. Okay, see, it should be offense then. Deal true damage to all enemies split among them. Because you can make effective use of the offense set through the rest of the kit, but there's no substitute when it comes to doing true damage. Gotta have offense. High offense. Shock all enemies, okay. It can be resisted, so is there some use for potency? Shock can't be dispelled or resisted. Right on top of it, thank you, Rey. Got me covered. Defeated by this ability can't be revived. Remove 100% turn meter from all characters. Remove the turn meter from all characters. So it doesn't say that can't be resisted. So, yeah, what's her potency situation kind of look like as a base? Yeah, that's worrisome. Is there something that says that she can't have any of that stuff resisted? No, doesn't say anything like that there. Okay. Yeah, that's so good. Fear on basic is nuts. Fear on basic is nuts. I expect the world. Is the short answer, Frick Frack, is this is the character that we've wanted to make Slacker viable on defense and not just getting more or less manhandled by JKR, of all things. Something like that. So, I'm into it. Short answer. Alright, I wanted that for Lord Vader. Sadness. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Yeah. Press Wampa. Yeah, good. Yeah, hey, glad to know. I'm definitely farming defense for a little bit here, because the defense mods that you're seeing on my characters, they might be fast, but if you look at the secondaries really are not optimal for what those characters are doing. The armor is too little. The defense is too little on the defense sets. or if they're attackers, there isn't enough offense tucked in with defense. Yeah, I need to, get back on the horse because I had to rob some tanks to get this done right. I've wanted Sith Rey forever. Yeah, man. I really wasn't thinking about her. I wasn't anticipating this character at all. I was delighted when I heard that she was coming. And yeah, we're gonna do a kit review with the scheme team from Plotting and Scheming. We'll do a review on her kit when it's close to her unlock. But as it stands, I am super stoked about this character. Now I got to get another really dope offense set together, though. That true damage thing really sells me on it. Yeah. All right. The fact that they're actually adding her tells me nothing is off the table for CG. Again, the fact that they keep updating art assets, why are you doing this unless you have long-term plans? What are you doing? Why are you updating all this? You're trying to make the game look better after you've already spent money on the assets twice, 3 times. A lot of these characters are having their second or third touch-up art-wise. And I'm not opposed to it, with, I guess, a few exceptions. The Rey jawline, and also, what have they done to my boy? Look at him. Look how scrawny he looks. It looks like he's wearing cosplay version of his former armor. They really slimmed down his armor. They changed his face, which I guess I'm not opposed to. Somehow the hair almost looks worse to me, but I like the reflective armor plating. That part looks cool. What doesn't bother me at all is how high fidelity JKA looks. This really looks like JKA from the end of episode 2, right? Fighting Dooku, losing a hand, all the good stuff. Yeah, losing an arm, whatever. But the point is it's like, yeah, this is amazing. I like this update a lot. But they tried to copy-paste that there for Gas, and I'm not feeling it. They massacred my boy. He looks like the toy version of himself. Little sad. There's definitely some winners and losers in this latest art update. But they're not doing these kind of updates unless there's a real long-term vision for this game. There's no reason that they can't keep printing money with this game indefinitely. So, yeah, you're right. I don't think there's anything off the table. There's plenty of Star Wars related content in the pipeline. There's no reason we won't have new characters. So help me God, if they give us the little kids from the new show, what is it? What is the new show's name? The Treasure Island, ripoff. I don't want to say ripoff. I want to say homage because it's got a lot. It's cute, but it's respectful and it's a little clever in some spots. SM33, by the way, hands down best character out of the show. Yeah, Skeleton Crew. There it is. Thanks, Ludi. Appreciate that. There it is. JKA's episode 3. I think you're right because he's already got the arm replaced. So I think you're right about that. Yeah, fair enough. You got me on that one. Nevertheless, the look of him, regardless of which film we're saying he's from, I think we all kind of intuitively look at it and say, yeah, that looks right, actually. That looks pretty good. But some of these characters are out here looking really weird in this latest update. Yeah, we won't get the kids. That's good. It's a Goonies space flick. Let it ride. Yeah, it's Goonies meets Treasure Island. Yeah, man, it's a good kid show. I like it. I think it's Star Wars is and must be first for children. And in as much as they can make shows crafted well enough for adults to enjoy, I will give them their props and appreciate that. I really will. Megalideros just DM me. He says, I've invented a new meme. I give you permission to steal. In the vein of Ray and Prey, I give you Invoca Ahsoka. Alright. Credit to Megalideros. That is funny. I can see that picking up some views. Alright. Oh, new episode last night. That's right, MJ. I didn't see it yet. Don't tell me anything. But I absolutely love Smee as a character. Cracks me up, man. Alright. Yeah, real pyrophiles. That's right. That's right. No spoilers, MJ. That's right. We have Padawan Anakin's asset from LSGO. That's what that is? Okay. Okay. Dig that. And the excess smoke. That's funny. Having a good time here with you guys. What else you got? What other questions you got? Invoke Ahsoka. You can really feel it. You can feel it, MJ. It's already catching on. It's like wildfire. It's what's hot. It's in the street. Everyone's saying it. Guys taking it easy on me. I think the next mod guide series I'm going to make here is going to be on Balin and Company. So look for that soon. But that's on the agenda. Do I have high hopes for the Mando movie? I have hopes for all of it. Like in the sense that I don't have specific expectations. I'm not going to go in with specific expectations, MJ. But Star Wars is... We're all big Star Wars fans here, you know? It's one of the world's, premier, top-of-the-line IPs. And I cut no slack when it comes to any creative endeavor using it. Everything should be exceptional for Star Wars. So, in the sense that, yeah, I expect it to be high quality. And I know that people didn't like a lot of things about the third season of Mando. I think if you've been following the story of Mandalore since the Clone Wars show, the Clone Wars animated show, then I think there was a lot to be satisfied by in that third season. Things that could have still been done better, I can accept some criticism on, but I still think overall, narratively, that was a very satisfying season. And yeah, I think that they can take it in an excellent direction for a movie. I do have high hopes. I expect only the best for Star Wars. It deserves it. It absolutely does. This ain't baby's first day. Don't come here to cut your creative chops. Do not come here as some amateur. Yeah, I'll tell you what. They ain't pulling that crap on Bob Iger twice. You saw what happened to Acolyte. The reviews said it all. He saw the bill for the show and said, "Yeah, we won't. Yeah, no more showrunner being more or less. I wouldn't say new director, but not having handled something of this weight before. Bring me people that have already cut their teeth to make Star Wars content, okay? Don't put... No baby's first day. There's no mercy for it. I don't say, oh, well, you have to understand. I don't have to understand shit. This is Star Wars, baby. It's either right the first time or it's wrong. All right. Slooty Storm says, what's the character on my roster that I'm most proud of in form of modding? One answer immediately jumps to mind. I'm just trying to think for a second, think if there's anybody who doesn't fit, somebody that doesn't immediately jump into mind. I think for me it's Gas. Gas is an amazing character, but when you give him amazing mods, he still demands GLs from a lot of players, even up here towards the top end of Kyber 1. So the essence of what makes him so good is that, first of all, countering him with CLS is all about Expose, which, Expose is doing damage based on 20% of the debuff target's max health. By having no added max health, we minimize the amount of damage we take from Expose. Tons of protection, decent amount of speed. You don't have to be this fast, but being decently fast is, it helps. It helps for a couple different situations. But it is less important than other stats on the sheet. Crit damage triangle, I do stand by. A lot of people run with protection. I can see that, but I think the threat of gas is actually having that triangle there as well. And you can do a lot with secondaries for protection if you're willing to farm for them. It takes time to get there. A smidge of added potency, that's not intentional, but it's okay. It doesn't hurt anything. What is intentional is almost 11.3k offense and then almost 11% armor added for just over 65%. It's kind of difficult to have a strong offense figure, have kind of the rest of it, while also being too much higher than 65. I want to say I've been maybe 66, 67 with different mods in different times. But having this guy set up this way is, he's a monster. He's a monster. And he's been doing it for me real big for years. All right. MJ says about Mando show, season 1 was perfect. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was beautiful. Season 2 was great. Fair. Season 3, it was. Yeah. I'm not saying you have to love it. What I'm saying is it closed some things that needed closing. And you had nothing. No exploration, no development in this area of the Star Wars universe in some time. So I was grateful for it. It could have been done a little better, though. Yeah. You're hoping for some Acolyte characters soon? I imagine they will come at some point. Fair enough. MJ says, so obviously tunes get added now and again with this game. I believe everyone has a passion character in Swugga. Mine previously was Dark Trooper. That's emote, nice. Now it's gone to Sith Rey. I wasn't a fan of Jedi Rey, but Sith Rey, yeah, talk about a crush. The Sith Rey is a cool character, yeah. Yes. I want to see, if we look at her for a sec, does she ever flash her teeth? I wonder if they put that animation in. Because if not, a little disappointing. I understand that would be some more work, but having her flash her sharpened teeth like she did there for a split second in the movie, that would be top notch. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Gotta jump off for a work meeting. Y'all are rolling in an hour. I'll be back. Frick frack. All right, man. Take care. Yeah, I don't know. I might be around. Might not be. We'll see. It's up to you guys. I've got a pretty chill day here, and I'm willing to ride the wave. See how this goes. MJ says, I personally want Kimir from Acolyte. Do you see them adding anyone from it? Yeah, I don't see why not. It's an officially released Star Wars show. Like it or not, it's canon. They might only have one season of it, but it's real. It's a real thing. So why wouldn't CG do that? Call the faction Republic Vanguard, something like that. Make some new Galactic Republic faction that doesn't want you to use a ton of the older characters and break the game, blah, 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 blah. So make a new faction, but still make it tie into Galactic Republic and or Jedi somehow. I guess they could give it the Spectre treatment where we know these guys are rebels, but they're not tagged as rebels, so they could just make a whole new tag. But yeah, they absolutely can and will add those characters, for sure. Yes, I do. I will be keeping stuff when it gets close to time to unlock her. I will be keeping stuff so I can Relic 9 her immediately. This Dark Side Rey, for sure. She's going to be so huge, guys. I want to see what the world looks like with Slacker on defense like that. I mean, will it lift him for attack? Probably, yeah. A lot of counters that you're hacking and slashing away through where Slacker's the only one surviving at the end. Probably a lot less of that on offense, but on defense is where I think the fun's going to be. Chuck Sachs, he's only gonna give her R8 because if he gives her R9, the wife might get jealous. Like, yeah. It depends on how you're valuing a Relic 9. I want to say it used to take about $150 or something back in the day for one Relic 9. I could see why a wife might be jealous. It's like, So on a given Wednesday, you won't spend $150 on me, but you will on your phone game Pixels. Yeah, Chuck's a smart guy. Smart guy. Only MJ, she's the only female evil in Star Wars, to my knowledge, with a saber in live action. You're really gonna do Asajj like that? Damn, you're just gonna forget Asajj Ventress like that. All right, now I understand. She's not like irredeemably evil. She might be understandably evil. She's evil, dude. Okay, like she can be coming back from evilness. We can see her character arc bending back towards some type of redemptive thing. Okay. Fine, but the Asajj Ventress we know and love, evil character. So we don't need to sugarcoat that. Right. Looking at my defense mods, I realize I really need to farm them, says Depressed Wampa. That's what I was saying a few minutes ago. I've got decent amount of them, but not great ones in enough depth. I myself am on a journey farming them back up. So here's to us. CG wouldn't make money adding Acolyte because they'd refuse to spend on them. I don't know. I don't really think that's your choice. You know, I don't think that's your choice. Like Gungans, how many people were lukewarm on Gungans? And it's like, okay, fine. Gungans were kind of a joke from the movie. Okay, if that's how you view them, all right, fine. We're going to make them a faction you can't ignore, though, because they're going to do all this amazing stuff. They're tied into the next raid. They have this bespoke Datacron when they were released. They've got, they've got all this stuff that you can't afford to ignore. So when I say it's not your choice, it's like you get to choose when you're going after this thing that you really are going to want. You can choose the when, but you're not choosing if. Like, you are going to get this thing. So that's how they're going to do it with them as well. They're going to make it part of something. Or they're going to make it really meta and impossible to ignore. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Slacker is going to be postable again, MJ. Indeed. Indeed. Live action Asajj? I don't know, man. I want the voice actress. It depends. It depends on how close the voice actress is to the character. I don't really want to hear anybody else's voice but hers. You can't replace that almost reptilian sounding voice of hers. That raspy, dangerous sounding voice. It's going to be tough to replace that, and I don't know, man. I want it. I want to see it well done. Talking about a live action show, I don't know that it needs to be live action. Would you have wanted to see Bad Batch as live action? Would you have appreciated the concessions that may have to be made in terms of the scale of what they can do? Because it's so much more affordable to animate something than to actually go out and do it with practical effects these days. The cost of CGI is just way on down now. I would want to see the show done right. I don't need it to be live action. If you're doing it live action, though, man, it's all the details. All the details matter. Everything. I guess it matters in everything, but in live action, my eye is just, I don't know, extra merciless about it. Chuck Sachs, need a physical actor who could channel Eartha Kitt's Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. Yes, Yzma was an amazing character. God, the characters from that movie were amazing. Yeah, that was a high point. Yeah. For the Bad Batch, I do think it's better animated. Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. I think of Asajj as a really action character. Shit tends to explode around Asajj. All right, so that's kind of where I'm at with that one. Making you feel you're only 29? This one's for you, MJ. Alright. You took the... Dude, I took my kids to that in the theater because I'm old. Yeah. I hear you, man. Got a 6-year-old daughter. She loves Moana. We haven't seen Moana 2 yet, but it's on the agenda. Moana, Encanto, all those movies. Loves the musical numbers. You guys have had some good questions today. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'll tell you what, we're getting to the bottom of this coffee cup. Give me a couple minutes. I'm going to step away for 2-3 minutes, fill this back up, and put some more questions in the chat. We'll come back and cover them, all right? I'm going to actually type this in case somebody joins and misses me. Drop your questions in the chat. All right, there we go. All right, be right back. All right. Shields up, weapons online. We're reinforced with a new full mug of coffee. All right, question coming back here from Slooty Storm. What was your most disliked meta in Swugga? Tell me why it was Dodge Crumb. Dodge sucked, man. It was a bad time. Although, I think personally, my memory goes back to having the most disgust for the set 1 Raycron, and I want to say the set 2 JMK, something like that, I want to say. But those two in Dodge were definitely the worst. I really did not like sets 1 and 2. No set since has been as bad, and that includes Dodge in my opinion, as sets 1 and 2. To be fair though, CG learned their lesson from that Dodge set. They haven't done that like that again. I think Balin's kit is the first real new adding of evasion as a kit line and not just, maybe a character has an elevated evasion chance, dodge chance on their stat sheet, but not actually something in their kit calling out to it. So yeah. So probably 1 and 2. About equally, if that answers you, Slooty. Depressed Wampa, do you think Balin is important enough to rush in order to unlock him during his second pass? Like anything else in this game, it's about as opposed to what? Like, what else are you working on? What else don't you have? I think the best advice I ever got and that I love to pass forward is you need to secure what pays you first in the game. All these, like the new assault battles, like your Duel of the Fates, your one for DTP and Night Trooper, being able to have those characters at Relic 9, just to have routine income of more droid brains or Gerda keypads, whatever you're more short on, that really opens up the tap for Relic 9s, right? And anything else, like having your Java team so you can do Smuggler's Run 2. Anything that there's an event for, any type of recurring event where they're paying you resources you want to have those teams in place to get the most out of that. That comes ahead of everything. I don't think Balin is such a team. It is a good team. I don't know how good. We'll see long term. It's always tough to assess when you have that bespoke datacron, so we're going to have it for a little while yet. We'll see where we're at on the other side. You remember how strong Gungans were with the Gungans, cron. Either one of them, the NAS or the Jar Jar one. The Jar Jar one was awful, though, to deal with. And now, in the aftermath, Gungans is still a pretty solid team, and now people are actually using it to beat the likes of, unironically, Balin. Okay? So, yeah, Balin's good, but probably not top priority if you don't have all those teams squared away that pay you an income. You're welcome to add a follow-up, though, if that didn't answer you. MJ, I want to hear your thoughts on the Mortis arc. Okay, so we're talking about Clone Wars animated show again. Now, this has been a while since I've seen these episodes. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been a few years. Maybe like 3 or 4, because I did a rewatch a few years back. I got a few buddies in Fatal Server that don't like it. I think it's cool. There's a heavy rumor Season 2 Ahsoka will debut Abeloth. Yes. With Acolyte digging into Cortosis, they're digging heavily into Legends, Do you see CG adding the family? And if so, where do they place? Galactic Legend, Marquee, Epic Confrontation, Great Mothers-esque? Like an elevated Marquee? I don't think so. I think that they're likelier to... So, with this Season 2 of Ahsoka adds an opportunity for Abeloth and the brother and the sister, because the father's gone, right? So it's the brother and the sister that remain. Morai, I guess, and then I forget what his name was. But the point is that Morai herself is reflected in Ahsoka, which makes sense. Because Morai is basically a deity. Father, brother, sister, all of them are essentially deities. As close as you really come to that in Star Wars. It's not explicit, but what they are, timeless, formless, shapeless, immortals, they manifest as they will to manifest. Like, they want to look, maybe that is their base form, but they can look like whatever the hell they want. They can do whatever the hell they want. So, I don't think it's appropriate for them to be reduced to mere characters in SWGOH. I think you can strongly reflect them, though, in kits, right? I think the presence of the daughter or the sister, whatever, in Ahsoka's kit is kind of understated, but I'm not really mad about that because she wasn't an overwhelming force as a character herself, But what I'm saying is, though, I'm thinking if when we get to that Season 2 of Ahsoka, there's going to be a new character for the son, the brother, to act through. All right. And gosh golly, could that be Baylan Skoll, And it probably, if it is Baylan Skoll, that would be lame for Swugga, because I don't think they're going to make a second Baylan Skoll. But if it is a new character entirely, that character can be the manifestation of the brother or the son in a kit without putting him in directly. So I think we can have both, but I don't like seeing something that's basically like a godlike figure reduced to a character that stands next to Slacker. We're all on the same tier, huh? It's not really. As of now, Baylan is greater than Tano. I don't think Gas can beat Baylan at all, so I don't have a strong counter argument. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying I don't think there's any type of event or anything associated with him as of yet that's paying some type of resource to you. If you've got all that stuff squared away, absolutely. But like you said, I think Depressed Wampa said that he had Ahsoka Tano unlocked, so he's already got a fairly high-end roster, right? You probably don't have a whole lot else that you need to be pursuing. So if you've got your income-paying stuff, done, yeah, go for Baylan. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Yeah, Baylan it is. Yep, there you go. I will unlock Reva about the same time as his second pass, so it would be him or the Inquisitors. That's tough to say. I guess that Baylan's the new favorite. There's probably merit in going after him sooner than later. Like, clearly, if you've just unlocked Ahsoka Tano, you're no stranger to making a push to get the character. If you're motivated to have him, if you're saying that you're going to be in a position to secure Baylan or secure the Inquisitors, I could live a while without Baylan. Baylan's cool, but I can find something else to draw your Slacker or your JMK, I think. Inquisitors is really good, man. I don't know. I feel like that's a toss-up. Let that be a personal decision. But if it were me, I would go for whichever one I'm actually closer to. I want to have the most best teams for the next season of Grand Arena, or the next week of Grand Arena, whatever's coming. That's kind of the way I'm thinking about it. They're pretty much a faction already, the family, says MJ. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, in terms of priority? No, I mean, I don't think I said get Tano over Baylan. I don't think there's an income-paying thing associated with Ahsoka yet, but there will be, I'm sure. Something. Reva counters Baylan, so yeah. It hasn't been successful for me, and there's a lot of people that are good players that haven't had consistent success. I have seen it work for people, and it pisses me off because I'm jealous. I am a hater. I look at them, and bitter green envy fills my heart when I see that they're pulling off 60-plus banners, and I just completely dodo myself by not saving Fifth Brother's AoE Dispel until I have all of those guys in DI. Like a jackass. Like, I think I know why it hasn't worked for me. But nevertheless, it has not worked for me. So, I take your point, though. That's why I'm saying it feels tough to naysay Baylan, because the kid is pretty good, and the kid is pretty good. I mean, yeah. Slee says, wait, I always just press the rightmost button. 60% of the time it works every time. You're triggering me because you're bringing me back to when I would be walking people in TW through fleet battles. And these are people that asked me to do this, right? So it's like, okay, then just do what I say. All right, and then they start anticipating moves. They start clicking things. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to click. Oh, no, I just thought. Why did you just thought? If you just thought you could handle this, why did you ask for me? Don't just thought when you asked for me. You're not here to just thought. You're here to just click what I say to click. Why are you making this hard? So thank you for taking me back to that, Sluty. Thank you. Good times. It was the best of times. Come on, lay it on me, guys. I'm down to play a game with some of you if you're trying to do that. If the questions slow down and nobody's got anything else on their mind, I can move on to playing a game of some kind. Well, yeah, fleet battles, yeah, when RNG can get you, for sure. Fleet battles can suck, yes. Yes. Dr. Faust, with an interesting question. If you could rebuild GAC from the ground up, what would it be like? Well, I guess, you know, over the years, this question's been asked a lot, and pretty much the most consistent answer from, you know, that I like, that I've given in part and others have echoed and definitely given excellent takes on their own is something where you have incentives to use certain factions, maybe incentivizing you to take risks on doing splits. I like incentives better than bans. Some people like the idea of having, like, if you've ever played League of Legends, the ranked mode where you have bans. A ban system where you could choose to ban something on the opponents, or the game mode itself says certain factions are banned. Like, Old Republic Jedi are banned. Something like that. And, you know, I personally don't like things like that because I don't like being denied tools. I don't think that's cool strategy for you to take tools out of everybody's toolbox. You know, I don't think that's interesting. I think that's lazy. Some people would say, okay, fine, but it may force a decision on you because JKR is still a part of major counters like your JML against any number of GL level threats. But would it be the end of the world, really, if you didn't have your JKR? And I'm hard pressed to say yes. I'd be hard pressed to say that it's the end of the world, right? So maybe something like that, but I don't prefer it. But something to do with incentivizing factions feels good. The board, I do feel, needs to get a little larger. It does. Like, we have too much. You can mitigate that, you can lessen that over time. Like, as they grow the game, and there's going to be power creep in the new kits, periodically it seems like the board should be something, right? Expanding the board means that it takes more time to clear. This game already takes a ton of time. I hear you. I hear that. It's tough to see why anybody would want to see, like, 3 versus 3's board expanded. Okay, fine. Maybe just 5 versus 5 then. What do you think about that? Like, that could be a reasonable alternative. Because I feel like 5 vs 5 is where things are really getting kind of stale, right? If they're getting stale anywhere. 3 vs 3 has a meta, but there's multiple ways to still get jammed up in 3s. It's pretty narrow, the ways that you can trap up people in 5s these days. So, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Chuck Sack says, I'm trying my best to avoid working while at work today, so we need more questions. There you go. And I see Beef Hot Pockets ask, kind of like the feats in the first iteration of Grand Arena. Sure, those felt like FOMO, though. Like, there's a whole bunch of portraits and stuff that I do have that other players don't, and I sympathize. Like, why should you never have the chance to get those because you started the game 2 years after I earned that feat? You know? Feels kind of lame. I'm not a big fan of FOMO. But if you're asking what I'd want to achieve, there's two questions I feel like are baked into this. Is like, what would I want to achieve, and how would I see it designed, right? Like, what do you want to see ultimately happen versus how do you actually see that done? And then, yeah, so what I want to see happen is something where I don't feel like you're taking options away from me, but you're really giving me incentives to bend a certain way. Now this might, when you give the player base enough advance that this meta is coming where you have this Datacron set where maybe the Datacrons are about, like, here, let's take for example that you have here in set 17. You've got Rogue One, Night Sister, Jedi, and Imperial Remnant. So these could be on a Datacron set, just as seen here, okay? And then you could have the next set of faction bonuses, a completely different set of faction bonuses, be the Grand Arena level buffs, right? So you have buffs from your crons that push you in a certain way, that might push you towards a certain strategy, a certain bend, or maybe you don't, maybe you don't want to go for all that, or maybe only so far, and you could, lean more into the faction bonuses that are getting buffed by this month, or maybe they rotate it even within the week. There's only 3 weeks, maybe they rotate it weekly. Keep it really interesting, I could settle for doing it just one monthly theme. I could settle for that. But you see where I'm going? Like, incentivizing different choice feels better to me than removing choice. So I really would want to avoid that in principle. I also have said previously, I like the idea of a wandering zone. Imagine, sometimes it could be weird. Like you have a front zone, and after you have that front zone, you're accustomed to one zone being behind it. What if it was actually 2? And that zone occasionally moves. Sometimes you have a second zone that's front, but adjacent to one of the front zones. You still have to clear it before you could see the zone behind it, though. So you'd have a double front that you'd have to clear before the back. Or there could be a double fleet zone some week. You know what I'm saying? It might not be everybody's favorite, but hey, you get what you ask for. You want variety? You want some spiciness? Sometimes the spice has a little more kick than you asked for, and that's okay. You don't have to eat that dish every week. You know what I'm saying? I think that, that kind of thing is what will keep it fun, because that's one of the big successes of this game with Datacrons, is that it does add a refreshing amount of change into the game, right? Like, if you didn't have this, Grand Arena would have been dead a long time ago. And I know somebody here in the chat mentioned you want to talk about stale modes, talk about TW. You don't have to sell me on that, man. Like, I'm in one of the very best guilds, I would say arguably the very best TW guild in the world, and I'm in it for the rewards. Everybody in the guild's great, of course, nothing against anybody, but I'm in it for the rewards. Like, TW is not engaging to me. I do everything that is required of me. I do my best so that we all as a group have the best chance of securing the dub, getting the rewards. I need my brains. Please give me the droid brains. And then that's it. Like, so the most emotional part of TW for me is checking the loot box to see whether or not it's 5 droid brains or 1. That's about it. So I'm right there with you. I don't know what the fix is for TW, but I'm also a lot less interested in it. The mano-y-mano of Grand Arena interests me much, much, much more. Oh, we get another Relic 9 bundle type of thing. Okay. What is my plan for ships on GAC defense? Well, dig this. Now that they've made that buff to Scimitar, there's no reason to bother running Leviathan on defense. I think it's impossible. I mean, if your opponent's not doing the same, like if you scout your opponent and he's like, yeah, but you can't even rely on that now because that was all before the Scimitar buff. Like, I think people, because of this buff, at least, trying to not get caught flat-footed, are going to save their Leviathan. And if they see your Leviathan, then they're just going to stomp your Leviathan. with theirs. Okay, so I don't know. So that being said, Executor triple attacker for sure. So Xanadu Blood, Razor Crest, Punishing One, and then only Boba on defense. That's what I think I'm running fleet-wise. And then some variation of Malevolence with probably Radis on defense. I like running Chimera sometimes on defense, but there are times where it's nice to be able to rotate a couple of my offensive counters, and having Chimera available frees me up. So, in other words, mostly cheesy, because the incentives aren't there to take the risk, man. Getting space jammed on, getting literally space jammed in space on fleets feels bad, man. I'm not trying to do it. Not trying to do that. What would I change fundamentally, to Grand Arena? Adding 4 versus 4, 6 versus 6, changing the number or layout of zones, using teams on both offense or defense sometimes. Once per clear, use the same team on attack twice, or get a mulligan that if you backed out, you could still use that squad. Anything that feels like a rule break that you get to grant to the player, as long as it's equally distributed and in the same amount. Maybe you can make a decision about when you engage such an advantage, and that could be like a tactical benefit. But like most things that you add that's kind of like a one-off, there tends to be a meta that develops around that itself. So we'll end up finding in very short order, there's a really right time to use that type of power or power-up or special ability or something. What would I change fundamentally? I like most of the format of Grand Arena. 5-man teams is what the game is based around. So going 4 versus 4, I think 4 versus 4 just feels like a dilution of either 3s or 5s in a way that I wouldn't be interested in. I would like to see vehicle combat. I think a new zone with vehicles, just as we have a fleet zone, just have a new zone for vehicles. So I want to see, if you're talking about new, let's talk about new. Don't talk to me about a remix of, can we go 6 versus 6? Oh, well, fine. Let's go 10 versus 10. Let's throw the entire Imperial Troopers faction in against the entire I don't know what faction and see what shakes out. Everybody playing this on a computer like me, or anybody playing the PC client, it'll run. It'll be, I think, okay. People running this on their phones, it's just gonna... So, exactly. Let's do 100 versus 100, says Sluia. Let's sort them out by waves. I don't want to give... There have been some real design successes by CG in this game, and I believe that they can and will figure out a new and better solution for Grand Arena. Nothing else excuses the inactivity about fixing the Erodium issue at the top end of the game, because I grant that it affects a fraction of players. Okay, fine. But it's your premier 1 versus 1 competitive mode. And it's the driver behind a lot of spend. A lot of people want to be competitive. And people are spending money to have what they think they need for that next week, for that next fight. So, I need more. I need something new. So, yeah, give me vehicles. Give me incentives. You could bring back feats, but then let the feats rotate. How about, one thing I remember that I like is, I remember distinctly back when I played WoW that there was a question I had answered one day when they introduced an achievement. What is the longest amount of time that I feel is appropriate to work toward an achievement, a single achievement? And I think a year is the answer. First of all, I'm going to be playing the game the next year anyway, right? So don't think about it as waiting a year. It's like you were passing that time playing this game anyway. Don't fret about the time. But there's an achievement where there was a holiday every month in WoW. And there was an achievement for getting each month's holiday, so all 12. All right, and you got a special mount and whatever. You could have rotating feats, rotating opportunities to get that stuff, add new stuff in between, make it longer intervals between, but don't make it FOMO. You could add feats back in. I liked feats. I thought that was cool. especially since, as I recall, feats granted score for the match. So it wasn't just for a chance to get portraits or titles for cosmetics. It actually was for keeps. If you were observant, you saw that you had to mine this feat, and you made use of it. Yeah, it was worth your time. So I'm okay with things like that coming back, but let it be new mechanics. Right? I don't want to remix on board size or something like that. I think we'd all agree that we're looking for something like more complexity without increasing the board size. Make the choices more interesting, more challenging, more difficult, but not more numerous, right? I think we're all kind of feeling that because this game takes, for anybody, I started playing this game in December of 2018. All right, geez, 6 years ago. How the time has flown. And even then, the game was already a couple years old by then. The game's changed so much, and largely for the better. I do believe they can fix this, guys. I really do believe they can. It is more fun when you carry your own fate instead of letting someone else letting you down. Yes, that's fair. That's fair. Leviathan only scimitar reinforcement could be interesting. I thought about that. I did think about that. What about Phantom 2? What about Phantom 2 Scimitar? What do you think about that? How important is it to get the Scimitar's bonus onto the field that early? Because the 1-2 comes pretty quick, right? Yeah, but then that means that they, that it does nothing against their Leviathan on offense. So, okay, fine. All right, fine. Yeah, maybe just Scimitar. So I think that does actually make it very dangerous for the Leviathan mirror. The question is, does it open it up to something else? You know? You know what I'm saying? Damn, my opponent is practicing sea cheese versus GLAT. Yeah, in Squadron. Do you think Ezra Omis will prevent that? Well, first, let me take a look at what this pack is. What is this? Why do they do these weird little packs? Well, if you buy one, you get to see what's even on offer in the next one. Why don't you just show me what the complete offer is? Like, they do that with the other thing that you can only see on mobile, the offer where you have to progress through the chain to unlock the whole thing, but it's something like $25 to unlock the whole thing. I can see the whole progression tree. I can decide up front, like, how far I want to commit, whether I want to commit at all. Why do you game me? Just show me what the next thing looks like. Because this in itself is what? Some pieces, a few pieces. I'm not trying to spend $20 on it, but anyway. What were we gonna look at? It's the exact same thing, just 50% off. It says that in the text. Oh, it's not a second identical bundle. I don't care about it like that. Okay, so the other bundle they had the other day, what was it? There was a Relic 9 bundle that was like that. I want to say it was like a better value the second time, and you don't get to know that at first. That's the type of bundle that annoys me. So good catch. Good catch. Fair enough. All right. Yeah, we were going to look at the Ezra Omis. That's right. So, I don't know how much that's going to make a difference for C. Depends on how hard he hits you, but I mean, one of the ways to lose with Sith Eternal is losing your sides that you've brought too quickly. You plan on losing them, but there is such a thing as too quickly, and you can do a lot. This worries me for Sith Eternal. So the speed from Exile is potentially dangerous, but the quicker he shakes off Exile and he starts to pop off, this guy becomes a real problem. And that would be a pretty big difference between Grand Arena and Squad Arena. So I think the answer is yes. Based on absolutely no data at all, by the way. Thought you should know. Just Scimitar on defense doesn't make it harder to kill. Call your Scimitar first instead of destroying Hangar. Then you keep the lead and can destroy before they call Scimitar. Yeah, but don't you have to win a coin toss up front? Like, isn't it bad news to get... God, I hate how that little Windows 11 menu pops up like that. First time chatter from 3 Scoundrels in a Cantina chat. Hey, what's going on, man? Howdy, Tass. Hope you're kicking ass and taking names. Not today, man. We're having a chill stream. I've got my mug of coffee. We're just fielding questions from all the good folks out here in the chat that just have time to burn with your boy on a Wednesday morning. Real casual-like. So yeah, not kicking ass today, though. We have a buy round. I've got an Erodium. I'm still working on it, but I think I might have a good match to stream later. I'll let you guys know. Stay tuned on my Discord about that. But yeah, it's a freebie today, so we're just taking it easy. Fabi, what's going on, man? The TW Omicrons of the team are ridiculous. So yeah, they straight up are. Yeah, there's no gamesmanship to be had with them in TW. It's real. It's rough. It's real rough. But yeah, 3 Scoundrels, how's it going, man? Feel free if you've got any questions. I know you're always trying to do stuff in Grand Arena. But yeah, anything on Grand Arena, mods. I guess we can talk about non-Swoga things. We talked about a bunch of different games as well. So I didn't realize how far off camera I was, leaning back in my chair. You did your unlock for Ahsoka. Got her to Relic 9 and Ultimate Day 1. Damn, yeah, I had the Ultimate next morning, but yeah. Defense or offense? I went with the speed and defense. So, speed set, defense 2-piece, speed, health. But yeah. Just over 200,000 health, over 100,000 prot, 570 speed. And 81% armor, and honestly, I want to say like Fatal has has far better, defense running through his speed defense, and I want to say he's closer up towards 86, 87. That's nasty stuff, man. I hope to develop some mods in the next few weeks that can push this armor figure up, but really, that would mostly serve to add more damage into her, which she's not really doing in any significant amount. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Like, you don't have to stack that when, we're going to have armor shred and then her sides are purely murderous. So, yeah, speed defense. How am I going to use her in Grand Arena? I mean, for this last week of 5s, I'm inclined to set her on defense with the Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, drop out Padawan Sabine, and see what it costs somebody to clear. Because on defense, in Squad Arena, people have been, I guess I'm hearing, taking it out with things like Sith Eternal with gas, but not necessarily reliably. Still, though, that feels really bad just hearing that up front, right? But the Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum level 9 from this new Datacron set, that's what I'm talking about, by the way. Like, if I didn't have this, I'll show you here. If I didn't have this Kron, I don't think I would be setting her on defense against any serious opponent this week. But this Kron is crazy. Whenever an enemy takes a turn, Fulcrum takes a bonus turn. During this bonus turn, she deals 100% more damage. This bonus turn can't trigger this effect on enemies. So she is just going to be wrecking face for me. If I didn't have this, I think I'd just keep it for offense. Yeah. There are also still bugs with the team. Yeah. I think that the team with what it has, plus this level 9, offers enough threat that it's like, you know what? I believe you. You'll kill this with something. I don't think you're doing it with gas, though. So that's kind of the thought there. Huyang is bugged, says Fabi. How is Huyang bugged? What's the deal? Gas gets totally destroyed in Squad Arena when the Ahsoka is well modded. Well, what does well modded mean, Fabi? What's the anti-gas modding of Ahsoka? Is it something like what I've shown, or is it even more heavily defensive? What are we cooking with? Oh, I see. I see. So Fabi's saying that Huyang should hit 5 times, but he only hits once. Slooty says full crit chance modding for Ahsoka is the way to beat gas. I think is the implication here, but I feel like that is a joke. If it is not, I'm very interested to hear why. Playlist, come back to me. If I recall, it's only when he's with full droids does he hit 5 times. Where is this 5 times coming from? Where am I missing something? I'm sure you guys will explain it to me here in a second, but no, it should hit for exiled team members as well. Oh, it's a special, you say? Deal an additional instance of damage for each other light side droid ally or ally with exile at the start of the battle. Yeah, so it should work the same, right? Because doesn't it say that everybody gets exile at the start of battle? All non-Ahsoka people get an exile? Isn't that it? All other non-Summon Spectre allies that didn't already have it gain exile until the end of the battle. So you want him to be... I don't know that there's a way to make him faster than Ezra, and I don't know that you should try, but like it would seem to me the way to get the most out of this ability would be for him to go immediately after Ahsoka. I don't know that, because you figure if Ezra's going next, especially if you're using him on offense, you're going to use Reunite, right? And that's going to reduce the damage that this does. I don't know how much that matters. That's an interesting observation, though. That's good. Yeah. All right, yep. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for pointing it out. Pilka says, it can't be bugged. CG said they tested the release. Yeah. No, it can't be bugged. That's right, MJ. Our world is perfect. That's right. It's your expectations that are wrong. Probably the wrong order of operations in the code. Okay, fair. Yeah, so it doesn't exile Ahsoka herself. Exile doesn't start on Ahsoka. So when you think about it, you would get 5 potential instances of damage in an all light side droid team from this, but you could only get a maximum of 4, assuming that he went immediately after Ahsoka, right? I don't think worrying about the damage that those extra instances is... I don't know how significant that is. Start a battle, it doesn't matter if it was... Right! It does say that. Start a battle. You're right. So yeah, so you really would want him to be first, but... I'm just curious. How fast can I make him? And how fast is that compared to... I'm literally just going to throw on some of my very fastest stuff just to see how fast does fast really amount to being. With literally the very finest, some of the very finest mods I have, I can outspeed my 365 Ezra by 1. And I really wouldn't want to make Ezra slower. That's a lot of commit for just that little trick. I don't think it's worth it. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think it's worth all that demand. Like I said, though, it is an interesting observation. Should maintain 4 with Ahsoka, 5 with Sori. Exactly so, Phil. Exactly so. The damage is significant at, like... God damn it, that thing popping up. This damage is significant at, like, turn 2 or 3. You're missing, I don't know, 300k for the special or so. So you don't need him faster. I think you should just hit way harder on the special. So you're saying don't worry about losing out on the added 2 instances of damage. Just go for a more offensive modding and maximize whatever number of hits you're getting. I think that... If that's what you're saying, I think I'd sign on to that. That tracks. Playing the odds wide seems the smart way. You won't lose an instance of damage. Yeah, you're right, because it's about what's at the start of battle. Yeah. Yeah. Just hit hard then. So yeah, the crit damage offense. I mean, why don't we take a look at what a remod would look like for him? We can do that, right? This is how I remod characters, by the way, so I always start with a triangle slot first. I think I recently freed up something pretty nasty. Yeah, this one. Wow, this one is really good. Yeah, that is going to slap the shit out of somebody. He went with health or protection. He wasn't terribly picky about that. This I'm not poaching. This is necessary there. This is reserved. This might be amazing. The defense is kind of interesting, given that we're going to go with a 2-piece anyway. But I guess the smart way to look at this would be by offense. Of course, you're the winner. Okay, I'll keep you in mind. Yeah, you need to be where you are. Okay. I could think about that. What's your deal? Oh, please tell me you have speed. Nope, no speed. You could have been a god, chose to be a man. Not even a good man. A garbage man. Not a man who hauls garbage, but a man who is garbage. Impress me. Nope. Okay, well, what's important is that we tried. Ooh! What's all this then? Go on. Revert for now. We'll come back to it. Ooh! Ooh, I need it so bad. I don't think I have. Yeah, it would cost a bunch of crystals just to get another 10. Ooh, this is such a good mod. I'm really interested in this mod. Hey, Victor Moreau, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. Miss you, buddy. We gotta get a beer soon. You know I'm off. I'm off until January 5th. Look me up. You're busier than I am these days. Trust me. Trust me. All right, let's see. What am I gonna do? Can I get this somehow? What do I need to get more episode currency? I want this so bad now. Alright, we gotta go back to Huyang. Alright. Excuse me. Alright, so first we'll say keep you really fast. Health or protection. You need not be picky. Sort by offense. Yeah, you exist now. That's very interesting to me. High offense and crit chance. You provide all your own crit chance, so you're not worried about it. This would be better served with Huyang. So let's go ahead and assign it to Huyang. I was deciding whether or not to poach the cross off of DTP. Now that this is the last week with the set 17 run. All right, let's take a look at you now. Ideally, this would also be protection or health, like the way Fatal's been running it. Really? I would rather not poach from him, but it is a consideration. Ooh, that's slow. I could make use of it somewhere. Yeah, soon, Victor Moreau. Good. Look me up, man. Look me up. Interesting. Go on. Okay. I'm reasonably confident that I can make this work. I'm a little less confident. I guess the flat defense is better than the flat offense, but we'll have to figure that one out. Alright, that one isn't the one we're looking for. Let's check speed. If we're going to go with this primary, yeah, I mean, everything's kind of dovetailing on that right now. Let's see how well that idea holds up. Again, this can be whatever, so speed, some offense baked in. I really don't want to rob Han. Yeah, I don't really want to piece apart DTP either. This mod is way too good to just be sitting on you. So, okay. Glad we solved that one. This goofy ass song. We could steal this. I don't know that Spirit's worth all that. At 26. Only a loss of 10 speed so far. This is a really impressively fast mod. What are we comparing against? So it's not really for an offensive benefit. The defense is nice on that mod. We are going with the 2-piece of defense. It's not crazy to lean into it. What's our crit chance situation look like? 84. What did Fatal have in his setup? We're both Relicade, so reasonable to compare. Yeah, 94, a good bit more. So I should be maybe looking to pick up more crit chance. So that's the downside to this one. Well, some of these do and don't. That's only a smidge. This is a good amount of crit chance. Flat defense and percent defense, it's like you were tailor-made for this experience. Interesting though, because all of these kind of feel indispensable as they are. It's only half as good. So who's the compromise? It would suck to lose all this offense, but can I find something else? 17? Yeah, but I can't pick Treya's pocket, man. I can't do that. I can't do that. And now we're falling out of favor with any kind of real offense. What does this one look like? So far, so bad. Yep. Not gonna work. Not gonna work here anymore. Nope. Not what I'm looking for. It's kind of interesting, but not really. Okay. Really is the best choice for that slot. There's no reason this mod needs to be on Spirit, so this is the compromise. We're gonna figure it out. At 327, still pretty damn fast, honestly. What kind of secondaries is he working with in here? So there's his crit chance. More crit chance. Health, yeah. Big crit chance there, little, big. Okay. So that's maybe the way to think about it, is just looking at some of these mods in terms of crit chance. Fair, wide open, useful. A little slower, but we could make it work regardless. This is not a bad choice either. This one really is such an exceptional choice. Dovetails. So that means we have to make like a compromise on this one or this one. And this one I think we can all agree is kind of irreplaceable. So I guess we're looking at U circle. What are we doing here? What would that look like? 91. It's not better than 94, but it is something. It would be preferable if I'm running protection. It would be best if I could make this also protection, I feel, you know? Guys, you don't have to wait on me to just, like, silently plot my way through this. Feel free to ask me anything on your minds. Don't wait up, because I'm going to be fretting about this for a minute. The defense is dope, man. There's defense there. Yeah, but I really need this crit chance, guys. What can you do for me here? That's just, I can't replace those. And then we're already out of the realm. Okay. So we're pretty much immediately outside of the space. The good news is that I can see that I'm only losing 112 offense by doing this. I am losing defense, though. That is poor. This is what I mean when I say I need better defense mods. I have mods. Just not the best suited for the purpose. I'm not picking Sabine's pocket for Hu Yang. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. Nah. Maybe, but not right now. Excuse me. 3 speed, disqualified. Disqualified! Exterminate. Alright. Let's see here. Nah, I needed one of those first 2 rolls to be speed. Otherwise, it's not worth the effort, really. This one, If you really wanted to run that. Good chance-wise, we could do better. Defense and crit chance. Why make this hard? So we can settle for a lesser amount, can we not now? Ooh, that's kind of a nice one. Weird mod. Can still make use of it. It may well be you. It may well be you. I don't know for sure. Yeah, okay, so that's the part where we start running out of crit chance. So if I'm wanting crit chance and defense set, you're kind of looking at the options right here. Protection, crit chance, defense, actually. Sold. Looky there. Looky there. 94% crit chance. Just fine. AK offense. How does that stack up, by the way? All right, it's a good bit more. It's a good bit more. There's actually room to grow this one a bit before recalibrates and anything. Oh yeah, I'm excited about this. This looks good. What is the how bad's the armor situation? 59% compared to his what? 61. Okay, yeah. So the armor is butts. Yeah, I don't know. Huge loss of armor. There's a, yeah, big. There had to be a really fat secondary in there somewhere. Let's check by defense, see how much we'd have to give back. It's only 1.65% crit chance. It wouldn't be the end of the world to give some of that back for a large amount of speed. See, this defense would be nice. Fine. Be over 90. Okay, fine. So going back to this at least seems to make more sense right now. 59.6 is better than 59.1. What kind of defense are we looking at on these? It's pretty good, honestly. The defense is there. The protection is nice, but the crit chance I can't afford to lose, so we'll keep this one the way it is. This one's locked. This one's locked. This one is locked. I think. Like, our crit chance becomes really poor without it. This is interesting. That I could run with that, but I've been enjoying this whole protection thing we've been able to run. Yeah, now we run out of crit chance and then out of defense. I think this is it. I think this is the one. We're gonna keep this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that deliberation, because yeah, I gotta optimize that, and then I gotta go fill in the blanks. It's gonna take a bit. What? No more questions? All right, you guys are fully exhausted. Got everything off your chest. Nothing else. I'm shocked, honestly. Where are we at? Okay. All right. All right, I'm gonna fill in these blanks, and if there's nothing else from you guys between now and then, I will look to close this down. What is this doing sitting here? What are we doing here? Who needs this? You could use it. Yeah, that offense is a waste there. Not doing that. Meets expectations. Fair. Fair. We've had some modding success today. They can't all be winners. For now, gosh, it feels weird to do that, but I'm just going to do that for now. Phil asks, have you had any chance to face an Ahsoka Tano team to test it out? Oh yeah, you know what? I think you guys did ask about that a few minutes ago. Well, let me make sure that I'm not missing anything. Yeah, we're good. We're good to do some Squad Arena testing. Is there an Ahsoka nearby? Am I 3? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I get to see 5? Does 5 appear for me? Or is it because of my position? Why couldn't I see 5? I guess the answer is no, but if you want to see me beat up on any one of these comps, I guess we can do that. Let's throw it in on auto, shall we? With the Fulcrum Cron. Action. Yeah, people are just going to whoop my ass if I put it in without that, so. Okay. Alright, I did say auto. I'm going to click the button for auto and then turn off the guided so it's unguided auto. It can move freely. Alright, there we go. Yeah, Arnold's streams are good and all, but he's only doing offense-only testing. No, I think there's only one other player I fought so far up here in Squad Arena that had a high-powered Ahsoka, and I don't see them too often, but we'll see what happens now. Excuse me, sorry for the big yawn. Okay, see that we're up at 2 charges. That's kind of interesting. I haven't seen a third stack yet. Are we gonna... Here I was saying I haven't seen it, and I did a bunch of these yesterday, but here we go. Okay, that's it. We just got a ton of mastery. Man, a lot of things about this fight. Close is not anything to do with this fight. Yeah, you dig? You dig? This team's ridiculous. So yeah. Good question, though. We're all starving for experience to know what she's about. We'll find out. Need that episode currency so bad. So bad. That's how they get you. So how they want you to buy that pass. Alright, good question. Back to my filling the blanks until you guys ask something else here real quick. Oh yeah, that's true. I'd like this to be health. Okay, decently fast. Perfect. Just a couple notches slow of what I would prefer. Nope. Won't be easy to fix. Possible. Sure, I could commit to that. Yeah. Having him at 340, I think, at a minimum is better. I can make that concession. What did I steal from you? Oh, yeah, that was last night. Oh, yeah, I didn't even fill in the blanks from last night. Man, I was modding and stuff until almost 1 a.m. This is fine. This is fine. This is more than enough. Sufficient. I prefer 330 plus, but it's not worth it right now. We can do better. Surely you can do better. Exactly so, yeah. So do I have another tenacity that you might be able to part with? See, this defense isn't really getting used right now, and I can see that working. I'll make that exchange. Now he just became radically faster. At the cost of, tenacity. Okay, that's a good trade any day. You are going to be a little tougher to replace. I liked the offense we had baked into you. Yeah, not really what I'm looking for. Any chance you slice really good on speed? Yeah, it's not that good. Alright, so a concession needs to be made. I think it is going to be you. It's not super duper fast, but it'll do. It would be better if it had defense. That is considerably better. But then the stats are wasted on something like the rest of these, I think. You're an absurd choice. But I like you just where you are. And I like you being that slow just where you are. So given our options... Yeah, I think I'll keep this. Alright. You. Yes. I think I have the right one for you reserved. This will do. It is slow for my liking. Yeah, but you have no use for any of that. Yeah. Offense. I like this just fine. If we're gonna make her slow, at least lean into her for what she's about. And I need to make a note to come back and speed her up. We've made a lot of concessions about her with speed over the years. She used to be about 305. Something like that. I'm gonna put her on the list. Alright. Where will you use Padawan Sabine if not with Galactic Legend Ahsoka? Asked Beef Hot Pockets. Nowhere. I don't think. I don't think so. She's powerful, but I think she really wants to be Spectre. Maybe if you're going to split off General Syndulla here in 3 versus 3, I can see use. But in 5 versus 5, nah. General Syndulla, Padawan Sabine, and Ezra? And then you're running Ahsoka, Huyang, Fulcrum, something like that. Like, I think the 3 versus 3 implications of this team are more interesting, for sure. I'm lucky that my pod this week has no one with Ahsoka, so I don't have to think about any counters for a few weeks, but I dread the day I have to face my first one. Don't dread. You'll be able to infer from some of this last week of data, right? Just... You know, you're already watching content creators. Keep your eyes open. I think you'll see something good. Keep her with Seer or move her to a Lesuthu Ray team with Cal Ben and JTR, removing Fulcrum to Ray. Stop Starkiller Ufu. Or would it just be a waste of resources? I think putting Ahsoka Fulcrum with Ray to impede Starkiller is insightful. Very little can punish that Starkiller right now. Know that his assisting does not constitute a turn, so that in itself won't trigger her to keep going, right? Still, I think her backslapping off everything is really bad news for that team, so I think you might have something there. So if... So that means if you're going to do that, then you're running the Fulcrum Cron with Rey, obviously. In which case, I think the next best crown to run would probably be Set 18, Padawan Sabine, level 9. That's probably the best way to go in the case of that split. Like that question, though. Good question. Dr. Faust asks, do you manually do your mods as a Zen garden relaxation? Do you think it is useful to intimately know your mods from placing them yourself? Are you better able to see the trade-offs as you make them? Or is it something else? You answered it as you asked it, man. It's a pleasure, first, for me to do this. This is something I like doing. This kind of minutia, I enjoy just doing this. Second, I do like the intimate knowledge of the mods that I get. I do like, off the top of my head, that I can tell you the speeds of many of my characters, and I can tell you the key marks of many of my characters, and that helps me know, just as a matter of quick reference. I don't know that that's a game-deciding factor, but if you're asking what I prefer, that's what I prefer. Absolutely, doing it manually. So when you hear me talk about, you know, when I plug for my Patreon and stuff at the end of my streams or whatever, and you'll hear me mention about, you know, how Fatal and TJ like to use Hotbot to remod their rosters for Grand Arena, these are both great players that achieve great results in Grand Arena. So don't let me naysay it. Please don't let it, don't be dissuaded if you're curious to try. But for me, there is a pleasure in going through these mods regularly, daily. looking for little improvements, and then remembering what they are, why they are, what it costs me to make that change. Because you see, making that remod on Huyang was really satisfying for me. I know exactly what it cost me to do it, and I was acceptable with all of these choices. I know that I'm cool with what I'm doing. Many a times I've heard Fatal or TJ or other players that rely on such tools come back and say something like, oh wow, that's a really good mod to have her use, first of all. And second, wow, this is just perfect. This is fine. This is fine. Man, that was like a song. Okay, now we have a new wave of holes. Yes. Okay. Who's most important of these? You. You actually get something rather nice. Okay, nice. Satisfactory. Okay, but yes, it is relaxing, Faust. I love the question. It is fun. Exactly. Knowing when I'm making the trade-offs, all of it. It's fantastic, man. You can hear your passion in mod guides on YouTube. Yeah, man. Thanks, Decepticons. You know I love the mods, guys, and you know I'm passionate about the game. You know I could talk with you guys about this all day. But hey, and hey, by the way, Tass, you've been lurking. Hey, good to have you watching, Decepticons. You got any questions? Feel free. Get them in. We've been going strong. How long has this stream been running now? Oh, crap. Man, you guys, man, hats off to you. You make the time fly by. We've been at this 3 hours, and I'm not really feeling fatigued. I can go a little bit more. I think I'm probably going to want to shut down eventually, just play a couple games, you know. But I'll be on Discord. You know. Again, if you're playing Helldivers 2 on the new patch, if you're playing Black Ops 6 Zombies, even some Overwatch 2, you know, you look me up, man. I'm the man. What else? I mean, League of Legends ARAM I will also play. I don't play Summoner's Rift anymore. Have I played Marvel Rivals? Yeah, I've already been asked about that a few times here, just in the last couple of days, and here today on the stream too. But no, I don't really plan to, because Overwatch already fills that slot for me. You know, I don't really need another game like that. I hear nothing but good things about it though, so get into it if you're inclined, for sure. All right, what's the next thing to fix? Yeah, I need to double check what's Dash's speed real quick. 350, so 355 is the target. It's a little annoying. Oh, I talked my whole way through that song I really don't like, and I managed to talk long enough that I didn't hear it. Not really sure if that's something to be proud of, but we will find out. 354, we are one speed short. Is there something cheap and easy to fix that? Is there a free 24 somewhere? Not really a freed up one. The rest of these kind of have their purpose. This would need to be a 25 of some kind. Potency, health, offense are all acceptable. But no such thing. Irreplaceable. So you need to be a 24 then. Guess I'm picking your pocket again, old man. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Okay, show me what you got, first of all. I mean, do we even have anything? Crit avoidance, I could make use of. Protection. You know what? Who needs what more? I think I'll run this on you. I'm okay with that for now. This mod should not really be upgraded further. If it had defense on it, I think I might do more with it, but you're cool as you are. Good talk. Glad we did that. How we looking? Just you two, eh? Alright. Let's go fill in these blanks. This is fun for me, guys. Running through all this. You're still at 333. This character is ridiculous. I love it when it works out like that. Yeah, give me literally the fastest anything that I can throw in there that nobody else cares about. This is fine. Nobody else is looking for this mod at this time. And it's been many seasons since I've made a serious use of the Ewoks, so don't feel bad about that, Poach. And now we're plugged. Well, wrong expression, but all of the gaps have been filled. It's good. What are my top picks for the new Datacron set? Yeah, I will be making a video on that in the very near future with Aesop Rock on that subject, on that very subject. But, yeah. What are my top picks? First of all, far and away for your Ahsoka team, or if wherever you're thinking you might apply her, with Seer, with Rey, with Ahsoka, I think you would be well advised to go after this Fulcrum level 9. Super strong. It's doing for any of those teams where you apply her what Dengar has been doing. But she's a legitimately much better character than Dengar. So, really nasty damage. I think that what we were discussing earlier is, let's say that you this Ahsoka Tano Kron, do not do this. This is a bait. This when she starts the battle. At the start of battle, all Spectre allies gain More Eyes Wisdom for 2 turns. Can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. This is bad, because when she uses her second special that hands it out, she'll give More Eyes Wisdom to a target ally, and they get to keep it for the rest of the battle, if they didn't already have More Eyes Wisdom. But if all allies are starting with it, and it's a version of it that falls off in 2 turns, and that ability on Ahsoka's a 4-round cooldown, you're basically dooming that ally to never have that More Eyes Wisdom again after the first 2 turns. That's what's happening. There's ads here on Twitch. Well, the good news is there's no ads on the VOD, man. So we'll get you. We'll get you right. We'll get you right regardless. Sorry about that, though. Man, somebody got to gift him a sub or something. I'm gonna pull a Ranger right now. Somebody gift this man a sub. There you go. We'll see if it works. We'll see if I can will it into existence. But yeah, the Ahsoka Tano one is a ruse. Do not get it. It is a ruse cruise. I'm embarrassed with the amount of effort I put in to get it, only to find out that it is a Garboni Jabroni. So, be better than me. Save resources. Yeah, so if you're going to have this Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum Kron used somewhere else that isn't with GL Ahsoka, then I think the next best one to have with GL Ahsoka is this Padawan Sabine Kron. Aside from that, in terms of talking about which level 9s out of this new set are big winners, I think C-3PO is potentially interesting when wherever you're using him that's not with CLS. If you're using him with like Cam on your Queen Amidala in 5 vs 5, could be interesting. But if you're doing C-3PO in a CLS team, where is he? This CLS level 9 is banging, so I like it. Hey Phil, yeah, back from ads. Let me see. You're asking, do you know if the CLS level 9 stems from Rebels or from Lesufu? That's an excellent question. What if it's both? Because I have encountered it, I want to say, when I was rolling Lesufu. Okay. Bane says it's from Ufu. So, okay. First time chat, Bane? Is this a different Bane? XX Bane XX90? It's probably not the same Bane. Different Bane. Turns out more than one people can adopt the name of Bane, so. First time chatter, though. Welcome to the show. But yeah, you're confirming it's Ufu. All right. That's consistent with what I saw, but you would think it could be both. Cat, it's kind of whatever. Yeah, the rest of those. Padawan Sabine, like I said, good understudy for the Ahsoka team if you're not running Fulcrum there. CLS is a winner. Dig this. For the Tuskens, I think Raider might be the best one. Well, it's whenever he evades an attack. You know what? I didn't notice that. Whenever he evades an attack, he gains crit chance up. I don't know how much evading they're going to be doing. So if that's the case, if you're not going this way, I really do like this Tusken Chieftain one. Whenever you use a basic on his turn, other allies gain 25% turn meter. That's a banger. Alright. Yeah, we've already said CLS was good. Fulcrum is probably my favorite one out of this set. Cal could be cool. Stormtrooper Hunt. Magma, I think, is going to be sneaky. I know somebody else earlier today was saying they're going to be running this Magma with Lord Vader, and I think this effect is pretty cool. Whenever Magma Trooper damages an enemy using a special, inflict fear for 1 turn on that enemy, and unless I'm mistaken, isn't his special an AoE? To all enemies. So just a real casual AoE fear off of Magma Trooper. So I think that one's going to be sneak and underappreciated, perhaps only at first, but I think that one will gain some popularity. And then this Piet one I kind of like, right? Anything where you introduce a condition that if you leave me till later in the fight, well, let's see, what does this mean? You basically want to leave him until he's last, right? It's not typically the way you're playing the fight. But on a Lord Vader team, that means you would want to kill Lord Vader before you kill Piet, which I think is interesting. Because if you kill Piet before you finished off Lord Vader, then the entire rest of the team comes back, full health, full turn meter, 100% offense till the end of battle. Piet must die first or last. First is very dangerous. There's, revive all other defeated allies and other allies recover. So you can't stop them from getting the turn meter and the 100% offense. I think doing it very last is the only safe way to handle that. That's going to be a tough way to approach the fight. Yeah, that's tough. It is inconvenient about the CLS Ufu thing, I agree. Phil says, if he is Ufu, that means his level 9 isn't great for his team since he's the only Ufu there. Maybe run C-3PO or Han for the Rebel team for the better level 6. Let's take a look at that real quick. I mean, yeah, the Ufus are going to be terrible for the CLS team. Yeah, I mean, I guess any of these would be better. Alright, so as far as the level 9s, then it was C-3PO or Han. Unless you're worried about losing Han for whatever fight, I think the C-3PO one would be head and shoulders better. Yeah. But anyway, I think that covers the ones that seem really interesting out of this set. Good questions, guys. Those are good ones. You guys have been having some bangers today. What's our timestamp? About 3 hours, 15 minutes. All right, we'll wrap this up here in the next few minutes, I think. Let's get a last couple of questions in, and then I'm just going to jump in Discord and probably play some games. Like I said, reach out if you play anything that I'm playing and you want to get in. I've got a couple hours yet before my daughter gets home from school, so it's time to put that to entertaining use. Phil says, when I read it the first time, yeah, that Piet effect, I thought only the revived allies get the turn eater, but rereading it, I think you're right, Piet must die last or use permadeath. Yeah, permadeath, wait a minute. Does the buffing of the allies depend on Piet returning, or only that he dies? So he doesn't bring himself back, right? It's revive all other. So it won't be himself. So you don't have to. You're talking about your perma killing the sides, then, is what you're meaning. Yeah. I see what you mean now. What are you doing to perma kill the sides, though, realistically, like that? You're death marking everything somehow? I don't know. But yeah, I think we're all in alignment. Dealing with him later seems like the generically smart call. Yeah. Permadeath plus Piet not last would still grant turn meter unless it's Slack or Hux to prevent it. Sure, or JMK like that. Yeah. That's good stuff. That was a fun little remod. Yeah, I do want to make Huyang and what's her name? I gotta mark her so I can also put her mentally on the list. Because I think all these characters deserve to be 9 in the 5 versus 5 team. Oh, that's the worst one. Right, let's go back to that track. I really like that track. All right, guys. This, you can't leave anything here. JMK isn't. You're saying JMK wouldn't stop the turn meter? Well, JMK wouldn't stop any type of revival. I agree, but I was just thinking about the turn meter. Don't mind me. I was too narrowly focused, my man. That's on me. All right. Well, I think it's about time to wrap this one up, guys. Before I do that, let me make a quick check. Trying to find out right now if I've got something good. Decepticons taking off, no worries. Yeah, I'm going to do my regular outro here in a minute, but I want to check and see if I can see what I got lined up. We'll find out if I stream tonight. Come on, buddy, answer me back. What do we got? Love this track. Come on. He's typing. Come on, buddy. I'm working on it, guys. We're working on the negotiation. I might have a stream going for tonight. Not streaming mine, because I have an Erodium, but there might be somebody. We'll find out here shortly. Yeah, we've had a good conversation here. I've learned a few things here about the new set. That's good. All right. I think we might. I'll be letting you know. I don't want to put him on the spot to answer me right now with everybody on the stream. But I think we might have something going this evening. Stay tuned. Of course, to stay tuned, the first thing you'll want to do is be on my Discord. So there's the link for that. And, if you're a fan of the stream, then you already know that I upload all of my streams to my YouTube with chapters added for easy browsing. So check out my YouTube, Tassinix Gaming. Got a whole bunch of other Swugga-related content there that I know you would be interested in. Datacron set guides on the current and outgoing Set 17, as well as Set 18. We'll be making a new video about the new Set 19 coming in the next few days with Aesop Rock, the #1 player in the world for Grand Arena. Also have my mod guide videos there on characters and factions that you guys have requested. My recent GAC Omicron tier list video. And, a whole bunch of other odds and ends from over the years, but it's all there. It's also a rebroadcasting point for my GAC-focused podcast, Plotting and Scheming. I make that with my friends Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aisha, and Fatal. We break down the last week in Grand Arena, talk about how we handled the meta matchups, our favorite attack and defense of the week, the lessons learned, what we're going to apply in the week to come, and anything else, that we think is worth sharing. So that podcast is, of course, on Spotify, Google Podcasts. If you find the link, if you find any one of the episodes, there's a link that you can plug into any of your preferred podcast programs to follow us there. But yeah, you can also, of course, find it on my YouTube. And if you've enjoyed hanging out, you enjoy watching my streams, you just say, damn it, Tass, I like the cut of your jib. I'm going to throw you a couple bucks. You can absolutely do that. At your request, I made a Cash App that is $Tassinix. But if you want to join my Patreon community, get some benefits back your way, help improve your scouting tools, get some early access, some unique perks, check out my Patreon. So that's patreon.com/Tassinix. For any upwardly mobile Grand Arena player, there is something there of interest to you. At $5 a month, you enter the Tass House at VIP access and get early access to the Plotting and Scheming podcast, which is normally coming out on Friday mornings. My patrons get it Tuesday night, generally, if not, Wednesday morning, depending on how cooperative YouTube is being. But in addition, you can also get early access to the Datacron set guide videos and a dedicated text and voice channel on Discord, where you can generally find me lurking most hours of the day. So pop on in and say hi. Thank you so much to Andrew, Arj, Deadpool Kyle 28, JJ's Productions Twitch, Jobin4527, Johnny B. Ottawa, Miasmal, Moose Ross, Rays Malvis, Sam Vimes, Squed, Stark Strategy Gamer, Sweens14, White Wolf, and Zoltre. Moving on up to the $10 a month tier is VIP Access Plus, where you have a bundled patron access to me and to OmegaBot. So if you watch my GAC streams at the start of battle, at the start of the stream, I show a report comparing myself and my opponent. OmegaBot allows you an at-a-glance understanding of your opponent's offensive and defensive tendencies. Patrons get to pull greater than the last 2 weeks of history and have a downloadable HTML report with links that go right back into Swugga.gg, help you investigate certain counters, helps you really save a lot of time. Thank you so much to Stryker, Esh Sotnikam, and Dobby for taking that. VIP Access Premium is the Double Bot bundle at $15 a month, so patron access to me, to OmegaBot, and to Hot Utils, the #1 tool for your mass mob management and loadout creation. A couple clicks can have you move between Grand Arena, Raid, TB, TW. Save a bunch of time there. You can remod your rosters for Grand Arena, like TJ and Fatal like to do. Helps with your Grand Arena scouting, whole bunch of functionality for TW. Powerful stuff. Thank you to Duckstab, Darkhug, Ivanek, General Milan, Sir Boss, Quig, Wilco, and Frick Frack Paddywhack. At the top of the heap in Jester's Club Elite, the one and only Nomad's Reaper. This is a guy who pops into stream from time to time and goes gangbusters with it, drops hundreds of subs, thousands of biddies, incredible support over the years. Thank you so very much, my man. And of course, last but never least, our special thanks. First to Yoda Force, one of my original supporters way back in the day, bought me the mic I'm speaking to you on right now, and even though he has long since quit the game, we wish him well from the other side. To Mrs. T, my wife, thank you for all of your work in the background, generally keeping our darling daughter from destroying our home while Dad is tied up for a few hours at a time, trying to be decent at a phone game. And of course, to my co-hosts on Plotting and Scheming, Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aisha, and Fatal. Gentlemen, as always, it is a pleasure and a privilege to record our show together on a weekly basis. You all make the time in your busy, work and personal lives to get this show done. We're over a year and a half, closing in on 2 years on the show. Fantastic metrics that I heard about. I don't know if you're all on Discord, you heard about it. Got some great analytics back from Spotify. Folks are loving the show. All of you are, the four of you are such a big part of what makes the show such a success and so loved by the viewers. So thank you guys so much. All right, coming back over to the main scene. Is there anybody actually streaming for Swugga? Because I'll send them on. Let's share the love. Who's around? Who's around? We got somebody? Hey, you got Ranger. That's the very least I could do is send you guys to see Ranger. Now, Nooch has raided into me recently, but I've also raided him back recently. I don't think I've raided into Ranger for a bit. So let's go send Ranger a little bit of love, see what he's up to. All right, stay tuned on Discord. Oh, yeah, I didn't drop the link for Patreon. Oh, yeah, and take care, Dr. Faust. Sorry, I missed that. There's the link for my Patreon bill. But yeah, I'll let you guys know on Discord whether or not I'm streaming here tonight. I'm hoping to have a match lined up. But otherwise, look for me probably Saturday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, to run round 2. Otherwise, it's been a great morning into the afternoon. Thank you guys for spending it with me. And until next time, it's been real. It's been awesome. It's been real awesome. Take care.
I did attention, yes.